madness. The Masters, the PGA Championship, PGA Tour, SEC football, the NFL, and February 3rd, Super Bowl 53.
Welcome to Kelly Short Stadium here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan, as the Home Depot presents college football right here on CBS Sports Network. Today we begin a quadruple header as Tyree Jackson, the Michigan native, and the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills set to take on Central Michigan and their starter, Tommy Lazzaro, in a Mid-American Conference showdown here from Mount Pleasant, Michigan. It is college football presented by the Home Depot. The Buffalo Bulls come in 4-1. Their only blemish, a loss last week at home against Army. Meanwhile, Central Michigan coming off a loss down the road to Michigan State last week. Great to be back with Jay Feely. My name is Ben Holden. Exciting game in store for you. What are your big storylines to look for in this one, Jay?
Well, both teams coming off tough losses, but I think you're going to see the best team in the MAC in Buffalo, loaded with talent, NFL talent on both sides of the ball. Lance Leipold's done a great job. It all starts with his big 6'7" quarterback, Tyree Jackson. He can throw the ball all over the field. Two great receivers, and Anthony Johnson and KJ Osborne. They're going to spread it around.
They certainly will, and it's not just the offensive weapons you like, also on defense, as we'll see in our Do Project Smarter, brought to us by Home Depot. They're pretty good on defense, and they're led by a stud at linebacker.
Yeah, he's got the most tackles in FBS, active for any player, almost 400. Khalil Hodge, he is excellent at recognizing what an offense is trying to do and then exploding, and a very sure tackler. Has the ability not only to go forward, but you're going to see right here the lateral quickness to get down the line and then come make plays. He's all over the field.
He had 20 tackles last week in that loss to Army. Tommy Lazzaro, he's the guy. They named him the starter. He's their quarterback now.
When they switched to Tommy Lazzaro in the Northern Illinois game, looked like a completely different offense. They have to get this offense going. It starts with him and their running back, Jonathan Ward. They have to get movement. They got to have something positive, and it'd be great if they did it early on.
Yeah, they're looking to get Jonathan Ward going. There's Lance Leipold now in his 4th season as Buffalo's head coach. How about this stat, Jay? 100 wins faster than any coach in any level of NCAA football when he was coaching Division III at Wisconsin Whitewater, and John Bonamigo, many years in the NFL as a special teams coach, now in his 4th season leading the Central Michigan Chippewas, his alma mater. Kickoff goes through the end zone, and that'll give us an opportunity to take a look for the first time today at our Chick-fil-A starting lineups. Wait for the cow, right? So we take a look at Tommy Lazzaro, the young man that came in on September 15th, 6 minutes and 22 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. He hasn't let go of the starting spot since.
Yeah, they're committed to him now. He's only really played 10 quarters, so he's still finding himself as a quarterback. Natural arm talent. He's got the ability to improvise and make plays on the run. They got to find a way for him and Jonathan Ward to really kickstart this offense.
They certainly do, and they keep it on the ground here. And it's Romello Ross with the carry that time. A young man they really like, coming back from an injury, trying to get his game going as well. Central Michigan offense brought to us by Chick-fil-A. Jonathan Ward, tell us more.
He's the key to their offense. In his career, averaging 5 yards a carry, only 3 yards this way. They got to find a way to get him going.
Lazzaro under pressure, dumped off and into the hands of Ward on the near side. A short pickup on 2nd down brings up 3rd and 8. We'll take a look now at the Chick-fil-A defense for Buffalo, and there's that guy, Khalil Hodge.
We talked about him in the open, 20 tackles. He's done that twice. He did it last week against Army. And keep an eye on Chuck Harris as well, their defensive end. He started since he was a freshman, and he can get after the quarterback. 6 sacks. This is a defense that comes at you. Central Michigan has to know that they're going to bring pressure.
Lazzaro forced out of there. There comes the pressure, and it was Harris applying it, chasing him around. There's a flag down on the play. Lazzaro's going to keep it and run. Gets a block. Ball came out. And Buffalo appears to have recovered it. There is a penalty flag back at the 18-yard line. Tyrone Hill involved in the play. There's our referee today, Amanda Sauer-Cook, her 2nd year as a Mid-American Conference referee.
You see a hit to the head here on the defense.
Personal foul, hands to the face, number 50, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic First down.
That's on Malcolm Kuntz, the penalty. So you heard the verdict there from Amanda Sauer-Cook, Jay, as we look back.
Look right behind you, see 50 there, making the tackle. The penalty happened much earlier, right as Lazaro was running out of the pocket. It's a big penalty because that would have been Buffalo's ball on the fumble there. Instead, it's first down for Central.
Ball moves up to the 45-yard line, and it would have been very good field position, a short field for Tyree Jackson and Buffalo had they got it. But the Chippewas remain with possession of the ball. They pitch it out. It's Devin Spalding, the one-time running back, moved to wide receiver, but he looked pretty good there, did the captain out of Canton, Michigan, Devin Spalding.
A little new wrinkle that they started to bring in, the option. They want to do this to get on the outside. You're going to see Central go outside. They want to get their running backs. Nice little fake, and then they bring the option. That's something that Tommy Lazaro did in high school. He was an option quarterback. Then he went to JUCO as a spread quarterback. So bringing some of those concepts back in from his high school days.
He fakes the handoff and keeps it. Faked it to Jonathan Ward. Good fake, good pickup there on first down. It's about 9 on the carry, does Tommy Lazaro, who's on a Monument, Colorado, 9 miles away from the U.S. Air Force Academy.
Tony Poljan, their big 6'7" quarterback, he started the first 3 games. He couldn't move like Lazaro can, and that's the difference in this offense. They like what he brings. They feel like it gives them a different dimension, opens up that offense more.
Motion man there was Hicks. And Hicks has got it, and it's a first down for Central Michigan. They take it inside the 25-yard line, and Hicks is a young man, a redshirt freshman out of Cleveland, who, like Lazaro in that Northern Illinois game, really had a coming-out party.
Well, I like this play here, a little jet sweep. Hicks is their most dangerous weapon. He's their playmaker, 6'2", 186-pound freshman. They want to find ways to get him the ball just like that jet sweep.
Jonathan Ward in the backfield. He doesn't get it. Lazaro calls his own number, slides in safely at the 19-yard line. They're actually going to spot him down at the 20-yard line. So Central Michigan, good start to this game for them. Exactly what they needed coming out of the gate.
No question. I mean, this is a team whose offense is only averaging 16 points a game, has struggled to move the ball 256 yards for the entire game through the year. So this is a big drive for them.
This is the 8th play of it. They've run every time. And they're stopped here at the 18-yard line. Nicholas in there involved in the play. Miles Nicholas, senior out of Rochester, New York. He's going to bring up 3rd down and 6. Do we see him throw for the first time here, Jay?
You know, you got up top, that's your quarterback up there, 6'7". You can throw a fade to him.
They pitch near side, and it's blown up in the backfield, and coming in was Brandon Williams to make a big-time stop for Buffalo there on 3rd down.
I think they ran one too many times there, Ben. Going into the strength of the Buffalo defense, running the ball. I would have loved to seen him throw a fade to the 6'7". You know, you got the tallest guy in Buffalo's defense in their secondary is 5'11". You got a 6'7" quarterback. You could throw the ball up to him. Now you got a field goal attempt. They've turned this over to Ryan Tice, who was at Michigan for 3 years, transferred in here, and he's 4 for 4, the long of 41, so he's got a good leg.
He took over in that Northern Illinois game I referenced earlier about Lazaro and Hicks, and he has not missed in his Central Michigan career, Jay Feely. He puts that one through, and the Chippewas on the board, 3-0.
Big pickup for John Bonamigo. Ryan Tice converting the drive, getting a field goal, getting the lead, 3-0.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. By Ram Trucks, built to serve. And by Chick-fil-A Nuggets. Tonight is Nugget Night.
And a look there at some notable Central Michigan Chippewas. Joe Staley was the first ever Chippewa taken in the first round. Antonio Brown in there as well. So many have come through here and are still having success in the NFL, especially Staley, Antonio Brown, Eric Fisher, starting
number
tackle.
1 overall pick.
Number 1 overall pick, starting tackle.
One of the only good picks in that 2013 draft. We went through it today.
We did.
There are not a lot of names in that draft.
Let's just say it was a real eye-opener.
That's true. You're going to see some first-round picks from this Buffalo team in the coming years.
And Central Michigan, after the field goal, 40-yarder. 3-0 lead. Here's Charlie Jones, an outstanding young player on Buffalo's roster. Right on cue, makes a big play out over the 40-yard line to give the Bulls great starting field position.
The kicker made the tackle, otherwise it's a touchdown. John Bonamigo, the former special teams coach, I played for him. He's not going to be happy with this here. Nice little wedge kick-out block. He cuts it back inside, and then a good job of getting back outside. There's Tice making the tackle. After a good drive by Central Michigan, a nice way to rebound, give your offense good starting field position.
So a 38-yard return, and Tyree Jackson, the pride of Norton Shores, Michigan, about 2 hours away from here on Lake Michigan, attended Muskegon Mona Shores High School, and he comes out gunning, and he looked for KJ Osborne, incomplete on first down. As we get a look now at our Chick-fil-A starting lineups, and Tyree Jackson, what impresses you the most about him? We've seen him a few times, Jay.
His development. He's big and fast. He's got a strong arm, understands the game. What he's done so well this year has been a great decision maker. 16 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions. He hasn't been sacked, and a lot of that's due to his running ability.
Buffalo, the only team in the FBS to have 0 sacks allowed. So that was Emmanuel Reed with the football there, and KJ Osborne wearing number 41, a tribute to a lost Buffalo player. We'll get into that more. What do you like about him, though, as a player?
Well, with the continued absence of their All-American receiver, Anthony Johnson, we don't expect to see a lot today. He's the one who needs to be excellent. Was great last week. Continues against Eastern Michigan, 7 receptions, 188 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 over 70. So he's a playmaker as much as Anthony Johnson is.
3rd down and 7 now for Jackson in the Bulls offense. He comes out flinging it, caught. It is grabbed by Tyler Mabry, one of a handful of Michigan natives on the roster back in his home state. Good-looking tight end, moves the sticks.
I like Tyler Mabry a lot. Probably the most underrated guy on this team. You know, they motion him into the backfield. He'll be a lead blocker, but he can flex out wide and catch a pass and convert a 3rd down.
So they convert it to the 46-yard line. Attended Lincoln High School in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Like his teammate KJ Osborne, then they both went to IMG for a year. Jackson hands off on the ground. Kevin Marks, a promising young player. They are really high on Marks in that backfield, and Malik Fountain, like Khalil Hodge, he's a flat-out tackling machine.
Yeah, he's the best player on that defense. He's a playmaker. Versus the zone read that you're going to see for Buffalo, he needs to get in there, shut down the run game, and then if they pull it, get after Tyree Jackson. They have to get pressure today on Tyree Jackson, or it'll be a long day for that defense.
He's averaging 12.4, the official number, tackles per game. Hodge, 13.4. They're 1 and 2 in the back. Here goes Marks, breaks outside. He's a special talent. Takes it inside of the red zone, does Kevin Marks. And they told us in our chat with him earlier in the week we were going to see him handle the ball a lot, and he has so far.
Well, I like what he did at the end of that run. He goes out of bounds, knocks the cop over, stops, shows a lot of respect and helps him up. But a nice run. Good job getting to that second level, and then the vision to get outside, and then he has the speed to break it down the line.
And a monster game in their win against Temple in Philadelphia. 2 touchdowns and 138. There he is, helping the police officer back to his feet. On the ground once again, it's KJ Osborne with a football.
They got a number of talented freshman backs. Marks, Patterson, Jared Patterson, you'll see him. You know, both of those 2 guys have had big games. Marks, 138 against Temple. Patterson had 100 versus Rutgers. So a lot of talent. I mean, I'm amazed when you go and you watch the film, you do the studies of these teams, how much talent Buffalo has across the board offensively.
They have a lot. They have a stable, as I said to Andy Kotelnicki on the call. He said, that's what we call them. They are the Bulls, right? A stable of backs. Jackson turns and hands off, or does he? Fakes it. Great fake by Tyree Jackson.
Jackson's pass is caught by
And the Bulls come right back after Central Michigan gets a field goal and a great play fake from Jackson, and Mabry the recipient of the touchdown.
You asked me what impressed me about Tyree Jackson. It's this right here. In the past, he would take off and run that ball. But this year, now 18 of the 17 to 18 times he's rolled out, he's throwing the ball. He's looking downfield. So he goes out. Now the defense starts to react to him because he can run, and he finds Mabry for the touchdown.
Beautiful play and movement.
Markers prior to the play.
Nearly halfway through this opening quarter, and a good start to this game. Each team scoring on their first possessions. 40-yard field goal by Central Michigan to take the lead. They did that last week at Michigan State. They scored first. Ended up losing that game 31-10. Here's the word from Amanda Sauer-Cook.
Defense, number 7. The penalty is declined.
Penalty on Mike Dana. So a 7-play, 57-yard drive. 2:59 it took on the 6-yard touchdown pass from Tyree Jackson to Tyler Mabry. There's Adam Mitchison. He's had some troubles lately, but he's able to put that one up and through to make it a 7-3 game. They are the Bulls, Jay Feely. Little rage against the machine. The Bulls on parade here in Mount Pleasant today. On top after the touchdown catch by Mabry. 7-3, Bulls in front. So Tyler Mabry with his second touchdown catch of the season. 7 plays, 57 yards. Took a skosh under 3 minutes. A 6-yard grab for Mabry there on a good-looking drive there from Buffalo. 44 of 57 yards on the ground. They ran it 4 times, and the key play, the big play on that drive, was a 29-yard run by Kevin Marks.
All 3 of Jackson's completions, he rolled out to the right. You know, when he rolls out, because he has the ability to run the ball, he ran for almost 400 yards his first year.
Yes.
The defense reacts and comes up, and then he keeps his eyes downfield and does such a great job of finding players open downfield, defense reacting and then making plays.
Mitchison boots it away. Kobe Lewis, freshman running back there handling kick returns for John Bonamigo, lets it go, and time now to take a look at our principal financial game plan, Jay Feely.
Well, for Buffalo, it's don't turn the ball over. Make them beat you. Don't help them. You know, I think you feel like you're the better team. You got more weapons. Defensively, you have to shut down Jonathan Ward. Everything kind of goes through him on their offense. For Central, you have to get 150 yards rushing. You have to get that team moving offensively. And then on defense, pressure Tyree Jackson. If he's allowed to sit in the pocket, he will pick you apart.
Yeah, and to your point on 150 yards since 2011, the Chippewas are 24-5 when they rush for over 150, although this year they did it at Northern Illinois. They had 164 and lost, but they've got a very good record back to 2011.
False start, offense, number 87. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
It's on one of their tight ends, the senior out of Ithaca, Michigan, Logan Hesbrook.
Yeah, you're going to see him right here. Oops, there you go. Moving early. And you can't afford that. When you struggle on offense and you're struggling to move the ball and you had a good drive, you can't set yourself back 5 yards.
John Bonamigo was big on that yesterday. Big pass downfield and double coverage against their 2 best defenders. That is a catch by Drayton Law, redshirt freshman out of Mobile, Alabama. Huge play for Central Michigan. A gain of 24.
Yeah, what an unbelievable play. Excellent throw here. Putting it up, letting your receiver go up and make the grab, get his left foot down. That's just a phenomenal individual effort to go up and get that ball.
Coming off a 2-catch, 17-yard performance last week against Michigan State in the loss, but John Bonamigo mentioned yesterday one of the catches he made was, it showed him a lot about his toughness. Here's Lazaro on the run now, got a block, and Lazaro slides down at the 49.
Lazaro, ball carrier. He is tagged by number 3.
Second down upcoming. Here's the last catch, Jay.
It's an excellent job high pointing the ball. As a receiver, you want to go up and catch that ball at the highest point possible, right in the hands, and then strongly bring it in and getting the foot down. Excellent job by Law.
From the 48 on second down, pressure comes, they bring the heat. Jonathan Ward is buried. Foxworth in there, Kuntz in there. a host of others in there helping out. Good play call there by defensive coordinator Brian Borland. So 3rd and 11 now. Chippewa spread it out, 3 up top, 1 to the bottom, and Tommy Lazzaro from the gun. Pressure coming again, gets rid of it, throws it, caught at the 40-yard line and flung down. But it is reeled in, caught by Cameron Cole, and that's a 1st down, Central Michigan. Tackle made by Joey Banks.
Any of these spread offenses, when you go 3 by 1 and you have the one receiver isolated to the other side, that's where you like to go offensively. You're trying to find a matchup that you like. You put Cameron Cole over there, allow him to just run a little comeback, and a good throw again by Lazzaro.
And a flag comes in on the far side. It's going to back Central Michigan up 5 yards.
False start, offense, number 80. 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
So Law had a big catch there on this drive and now guilty of moving too early.
Yeah, right there. As a receiver, you just can't do that. There's no reason. You saw his face. He had his eyes in looking at the ball. He turned upfield and was anticipating. That's not what you do as a receiver. Your eyes are always on the ball. You're never going on sound. You're not going on the count. You're going on movement of the ball. Poor job there by Law.
So the 2nd false start penalty on a wide receiver or a tight end on this drive, and Ward trying to dance through defenders, and pretty good effort to get what he got there and get a little bit of it back, but basically just ended up getting back about 1.5 yards. Khalil Hodge, the tackle.
Yeah, watch Khalil Hodge recognize this, come forward, come back across, and then a solid tackle.
Jonathan Ward last year led Central Michigan with 990 yards, 9 rushing touchdowns, coming in just 182 yards on the season for him. He's an electrifying player. They really want to get him going. Lazzaro under pressure, gets rid of it. Open man, and he missed him. Missed him wide open at the 20-yard line. Brandon Childress was in space.
Yeah, and he missed a big opportunity there. He did a great job. They went 5 wide, so they're empty backfield. Does what Tyree Jackson's been doing, moving out, and then in the middle of the field, 82 is wide open. Jonathan Ward wanted the ball as well, but he went to the right receiver. He should have gone to Childress. He was open. He just overthrew him.
So on 3rd and 13 now, this will be the 7th play of the drive. Here's Khalil Hodge, fastest player in Buffalo history to 300 career tackles. Open now on the near sideline, but it's intercepted. It's intercepted by Buffalo, and Brandon Williams comes up with a pick. There's flags down after the fact, but Lazzaro intercepted by Brandon Williams. We'll have to check the penalties. We'll get the word from Amanda Sauer-Cook momentarily.
Lazzaro had his receiver open. If he throws this on a dime, on a rope, it's a completion, and a big completion. He put air underneath it, thought he had him, and then Williams just did an excellent job coming all the way over from the middle, making that interception.
After the interception, on sportsmanlike conduct, on number 14, Buffalo. Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
So that's on Brandon Williams after he made his 2nd pick of the season. His first year playing as a safety, was a cornerback his previous years here for Buffalo.
You're going to see right here, look how wide open the defense falls down, but Williams comes all the way over and makes that catch. An excellent job. And then because he spiked the ball, that was the penalty that they called. But just a phenomenal job getting over by Williams, making the interception.
All right, Jay, we've seen this young man more than once, and you went back and looked at some tape and his progression. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, his freshman year, when he was playing, he ran for almost 400 yards. You know, now as you move forward, as he's rolling out, he's not looking to run as much as he's keeping his eyes downfield and then finding receivers. That's what he did on the first touchdown pass to Mabry. You know, he did it a couple times in that first drive, rolling out and then looking downfield, the defense reacting to him because they know that he can run. And he's a threat. We watched him against Army take 170 yards to the house.
We did. 70 plus, if my memory serves me correct, from that day along the banks of the Hudson. Let's take a look now at our Bud Light Inside tracks for today, and great numbers there as well.
You can see as he's rolling out, he's looking to throw the ball. And that's what you want to see in a quarterback's progression. Still willing to use your legs, but use your legs to throw the ball. Think Patrick Mahomes this year and Aaron Rodgers as they get outside. They use their legs, but they're looking downfield. That's when you're really dangerous as a mobile quarterback.
Development has been great, fun to watch him. Marks was the back in the backfield. Jackson now taking time. This one he's hit as he threw it. And the Bulls able to fall on it. It was Jackson that fell on it.
Yeah, he was very aware that that might be called a fumble. I think it was called a fumble, and he ran and got onto the ball himself. Nobody else recognized it on that offensive line. A good job by Jackson.
Great alertness.
He was on his third read, and you can see a good job getting a hand in there defensively.
That's Mike Dana. They played against each other in the 2014 state championship, a game won by Dana and Warren De La Salle against Mona Shores 44-8.
Greg Colby told us that Mike Dana is the best athlete on their defense. That says a lot for a defensive end.
It really does. Kevin Marks next to Jackson. Jacksonville fires and incomplete. Little slant there on the hash mark looking to Osborne. So it brings up 4th down, and they'll bring Finnegan on to punt.
And that's the next level, I think, of the progression for Tyree Jackson, because you saw him just step back and just throw a dart in there. As you're running a slant route, he doesn't need to throw it so hard. That makes it really hard on your receiver to catch that ball. You have to be able to take a little bit off of that and throw a catchable ball so that in traffic your receiver can adjust, because there was a sliver of an opening to make that catch, but the ball was just thrown too hard.
Well, here's Evan Finnegan from Sterling Heights, Michigan, down in the Detroit suburbs, about an hour and a half or so from here. He's got 130 people here to watch him back home. What's your record?
Well, I had about 105 when we played Green Bay one year, but you can see a bomb here. He averaged over 50 yards against Army.
Led the state of Michigan last year in punting as Ward trying to make a play. He's dangerous, Jonathan Ward. Good return from Ward. That's what he can do. He can electrify you, keep you on the edge of your seat, and a big return, but there's a flag back behind the play.
It's offsides against Central, so they're not going to get that big play and that big return. The third time we've seen them hurt themselves with penalties already in this game. You can see John Bonamiga saying, is that on us?
Oh, that's tough to take.
Offsides. Defense. Number 37. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Yeah, because of the big return, they're going to kick it again. Buffalo is. Right around here, you're going to see coming offsides. There he is early.
Rolianne Sturkey, the guilty one there, offsides. And there's Bonamigo, and knows how big this game is. I mean, from here on out, it's all in the MAC. Each team's played a MAC game. Central Michigan 0-1, the loss to Northern Illinois, and Buffalo 1-0. High scoring affair. They had a victory at home against Eastern Michigan a few weeks back. It's all about conference play now for these two teams the rest of the way. That negated a 19-yard and a nice 19-yard return from Jonathan Ward on that return, Jay.
Yeah, almost 20 yards in field position is what it ended up costing him. That's a big penalty for a team that struggled to move the ball. When you get opportunities, you got to take advantage of them. The penalty took it away.
We'll step aside, inside of 3 to go in the quarter. Buffalo on top, 7-3, with the Chippewas getting it back. The Bulls of Buffalo on top of the Chippewas of Central Michigan, 7-3 here late in the first quarter. Join our Tops crew bright and early tomorrow morning at 8 Eastern as they get you ready for another jam-packed day in the NFL. Don't miss the unmatched analysis and bold predictions from our football experts on that other pregame show right here on CBS Sports Network. So the Chippewas, it's a 16-yard difference because of the penalty. And the punt return to 19 for Jonathan Ward after the offsides penalty. So they go to work. Lazaro near side. It's caught. Reeled in by Devin Spalding. Big play out of the senior to the 49-yard line of the Bulls.
It's a good throw and a good catch. You're going to see just a little out route here. Lazaro's got to be a little bit quicker because he was late on that one. He was late on the interception. He was lucky that he got that one down in time right before the defense got there, but he's got to see it and be a little quicker.
17-yard pickup. Tommy Lazaro keeps it. Good pickup there on first down. Takes it to the
Lazaro, the keeper.
inside of the 45 to the 43. Jordan Collier, the tackle.
That's what's being effective so far is the option. Getting Lazaro outside, running some options, little quarterback keepers, moving the ball. When he's out of the pocket, they're having opportunities to make plays downfield and running the ball.
2nd and 4 now. Gets it out quick there, but it hit the ground. You can see the pellets flying from up here as he was trying to connect with Ja'Cory Sullivan. Incomplete. 3rd down and 4 coming up.
Yeah, they're just trying to get the first down. Sullivan ran a little hitch, and it's open. Lazaro just has to complete it. He threw it in the dirt. Now you have 3rd and 4.
Roy Baker was on the coverage for the Bulls. Lazaro glancing over. They shift in some new personnel. There is Khalil Hodge.
Keep an eye right here on Childress. They like the bubble screen out of that look.
He's lined up behind Sullivan. And pressure, and Lazaro can't get away. They get to him and drop him. Miles Nicholas up front for that Bull defense.
Tackled by 94, that's Miles Nicholas.
Looking downfield, the defense for Buffalo did a good job. There was really nowhere to go with the ball. He should just take off and run. If he takes off and runs there outside, I think Lazaro might have the opportunity to get a first down. So 2 chances. On 3rd down, he throws one in the dirt, and then a 4th down, he doesn't take off and run, and now they give the ball back to Buffalo.
So Jack Sheldon, the Australian, on to boot it away. KJ Osborne. And he's going to let this go. And the Chippewas, can they get it? Or did it go over the goal line? I think it went
terrible
over.
job. You know, college football, it's the ball and where it is. And it looks like he's marking it down.
He is inside of the 1.
Wow, I thought he was calling a touchback.
Initially, it looked that way, but that's where they're spotting the ball.
So it's the ball. So if this ball crosses the goal line in the air, so he picks it up here, and he's got his feet, so there it's down. Now it's a hard angle there. If that ball is across the goal line, it's a touchback.
They're calling him there.
Yeah, it's a great play. Here's a good angle right here.
Gerard Davis made the play. And the Chippewas pin the Bulls deep. We'll see what Tyree Jackson and this offense can do in this position inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter in a 7-3 Buffalo lead.
I think that was a generous call for Central. I think the ball was across the goal line. It should have been a touchback.
Numbers on Tyree Jackson. Has a 6-yard touchdown. He threw to Tyler Mabry on their opening possession. Each team scoring on their opening possession of this ball game. Jackson from his own end zone. Hands off, trying to get a little breathing room, and Marks had to work for that. Good hustle. There's Dana up front along with Alex Briones. 3rd and 7 coming up. Do they run another play, or do they just say, we'll switch ends? We'll see. It looks like they're just content to let this time run out.
Well, the wind is actually with them right now, so if they switch it here, they'll be punting if they don't get it into the wind.
And that is the end of the opening quarter, and there's that shot of the wind you're referring to, Jay. So we'll switch ends. The Bulls of Buffalo 4-1 against Central Michigan 1-4. And Buffalo on top 7-3. That's the end of the first quarter. Great to have you with us here on a busy Saturday of college football right here on CBS Sports Network. Back here to start the second quarter with Jay Feely. My name is Ben Holden. There's Anthony Johnson, number 83, who returned this year for his senior season. Nation's returning leader in receiving yards with over 1,300 yards, Jay. And the last 2 games, he's barely played because of an injury.
Well, that was the most in the country right there. Preseason first-team All-American, 76 receptions, 14 touchdowns last year. And the guy's got to pick it up is KJ Osborne, number 41, right there in the slot. He's in motion now. They like to go to him.
3rd down and 7 for Tyree Jackson from his own end zone. Down the middle, fires, and he looked for him. And incomplete, so the Chippewa defense, they lead the conference with 6 picks and yards allowed via the pass to the Central Michigan Chippewas, and they force a punting situation here for Finnegan.
That was a good job defensively. They brought Osborne in motion and then tried to bring it back across the middle of the field. He leads the team this year, Osborne does, in receptions, reception yards, and touchdowns. But without Anthony Johnson, that really changes the dynamics of that offense, because Johnson can take it off the top and opens up the field underneath for Osborne.
There's Taiwan Swain on the coverage there on that pass play. Chippewas, they're going to bring the heat, and Finnegan able to boot it away. Ward takes it 43-yard line. And he gets it back to the 35. Penalty flags come in, one from the back, one from the far side. So we'll check that with referee Amanda Sauer-Cook once she discusses with her colleagues exactly what rule was violated.
You're going to get blocked in the back here on Central. They had good field position again inside the 40. This penalty's going to back them up. They keep hurting themselves with penalties, pre-snap penalties, penalties on returns when they have good field position.
During the return, block in the back, number 37 of the return team. 10-yard penalty from the spot, from the spot of the foul. First down.
That's their second penalty on a return. They've had 3 penalties pre-snap on special teams. Right there is where you're looking at, and just not a smart play at all. I mean, you know you're behind him.
Yeah.
You're looking at the back, and instead of not doing anything, you just say, well, I'm going to do it anyway. You lower your shoulder, go right into the back. Just not smart, and you have to be disciplined. John Bonamigo is a former special teams coach in the NFL, one of the best in the NFL before he came back and took this. He preaches smart play on special teams.
He does. 4th penalty for 25 yards. Look at Tommy Lazzaro, first down run. Tommy Lazzaro, who was a high school option quarterback, his junior college team he played for. He ran the spread. He can do it all.
That was not a designed quarterback run. He wanted to throw a screen to Ward. You're going to see him look. It's not there. So he just pulls it down and then makes something out of nothing. An excellent job. And I want to see more of that. A couple of times on third down last time, he had the opportunity to do that play and he didn't do it. I like that play.
I laughed only because he shoved Romello Ross out of the way as running back. Here's Ward, nowhere to go. Good job stringing him out on the near side. Chuck Harris and company getting over there. Collier involved as well on Jonathan Ward for the Bulls defense.
You're seeing a concerted effort to get Ward the ball.
He's going to go out.
Yeah, he lost his helmet. He's got 4 rushes. He's got a catch. He's got a number of returns, trying to find ways. They know he's the best player on their offense. They know they have to get him going. If going forward in this season, they're going to succeed offensively.
Second team All-MAC pick last year. Here's Lazzaro, now steps up, got some room. Took a heavy shot. And you can hear that all the way up here. Took it nearly to the 25. Guess who? Khalil Hodge in there on the stop.
Hodge was on the receiving end of that shot. He got up shaking his head. He wanted to go to Tony Poljan, who was down below as the single receiver. Anytime he goes in, 6'7", again, he's on the bottom of your screen. He's a matchup problem. 6'7" against the tallest guy right there.
Yeah.
And their secondary is 5'11". The corners are 5'9". That's where you want to go when you get that matchup.
Here's Lazzaro. They need a yard. Gonna pitch it. Devin Spalding. Can he get there? He's got the first down. Does Devin Spalding, who's had a very big role in this game today. Senior captain out of Canton, was a running back his first 3 years. They moved him, but they're still using him in a couple of different ways.
It's 31, so they go with the option. I would have preferred taking a shot there. You got Poljan, take a shot, throw him a fade down the field, and then come back and go for it on 4th down. They get the first down, though.
Another flag comes in, this one thrown by referee Amanda Sauer-Cook.
Substitution infraction, 12 men in the formation, offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
One of the big things that John Bonamigo said to us yesterday was, among a list of things, one of the biggest things was the self-inflicted things that are hurting his team, and there's been a lot today.
Right, penalties, and that's what you've seen today, but turnovers as well. They have 8 interceptions, 4 fumbles, 12 turnovers on the year. That's what he pointed to. He said, we're beating ourselves. We're in these games. We've played tough teams in Kansas and Kentucky and Michigan State, even Maine, Northern Illinois, but we're hurting ourselves.
5 penalties for 30 yards. Ward right side, not a whole lot there. Takes it down to the 26-yard line.
Central's lost to 2 top 20 teams in Michigan State and Kentucky, and another Power 5 team in Kansas. So it's kind of like resetting for them. They got a new quarterback now. They've moved the ball better with him, and it's kind of refocusing. Okay, forget about what happened. Just focus on the MAC here. Focus on these games coming up, and let's try and make something out of our season.
That's exactly it. It's about the conference right now for them. Here is Tommy Lazzaro, gets open, fires, and it's caught and then dropped. Incomplete. Good looking play, but Ward unable to keep that thing in his grasp.
Good job. Watch Tommy Lazzaro just moving around in the pocket. He's got pressure, finds a way to get out, keeps his eyes downfield, and here's Ward. He's got to make that catch.
Yeah.
One of the things Ward didn't do was move with the quarterback. As your quarterback's rolling, you got to move with him. He kind of turned and stopped, and then Lazzaro let him, and then because he wasn't moving with him, he was reaching, and then he has the drop.
So 3rd and 12 now. To convert, they need to get to the 13-yard line. Lazzaro got time. There's the shot, Jay. They get it down in the end zone, but well over the intended target down there. That was Cameron Cole, the nearest to it, so they'll trot on the field goal unit again to try and make it 7-6.
Not really a good effort there. You had Ward coming across. The other 2 receivers on that side just ran go routes, and Lazzaro didn't really give his receiver a chance, although neither of them were open either.
So here's Tice, who connected from 40 on the opening possession of the ball game, trying to make it a 1-point game.
I watched him go back to 55, plenty of leg. Hasn't missed in his Central Michigan career.
From the right hash. Trying to bend this one through there, and he could not get it inside the right upright. So it remains 7-3 Buffalo. The Bulls on top of the Chippewas of Central Michigan. Lance Leipold and his guys get the ball when we come back early in the second.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. By Bud Light, reminding you not to drink and ride your horse. And by Lilly Diabetes.
10th anniversary of the 2008 MAC championship that the Bulls of Buffalo won, their first and only conference football title in school history. Turner Gill was their coach. They were led by a quarterback that year named Drew Willie, and they defeated Ball State, who was ranked in the top 15 in the nation at the time. Buffalo trying to have a special year this season. Dumped off here to an outstanding freshman in Jared Patterson. You want to talk about shake and bake? This kid's got it.
Yeah, you really like him. You talked to me about it before. He had over 100 yards against Rutgers. They said he's exceeding expectations. Came in with his brother, James Patterson, who's on the other side of the ball at linebacker. Both of them starting as freshmen.
Pretty impressive.
Marks and Patterson, those are the 2 backs, the 2 freshmen, getting a lot of plays. They like Marks a lot.
Yeah.
Good mix-up when Patterson comes in.
They're giving Patterson a run here. Andy Kotelnicki said to us, he said, you're going to see a lot of 5 and a lot of 26. Heavy shot delivered there at the 39-yard line. And that's Patterson once again. Tight end LaFave there tangled up one of the Chippewa defenders. That looked like Sean Bunting.
Patterson's averaging over 5 yards a carry. You could see, even though that was a small gain, you could see the shiftiness and the quickness there. He brought it up in the middle, and then a quick move, and then the lateral quickness to get outside and really make something out of nothing there.
Sorry, he got 3 touchdowns on the season as the freshman from Glendale, Maryland.
Yeah, 2 of them against Rutgers.
Yeah.
And they pounded Rutgers.
They just hammered them.
42-13 against a Big Ten team.
Yep. On the road, 2nd and 7. Jared Patterson. Jared Patterson still on his feet. Second effort, he's got the first down. As Devontae Reed dropped him, but not before he moved the chains.
Yeah, this is a good run right here. As Patterson gets the ball, he goes through shiftiness, quickly gets to the next level, cuts back inside. Got good balance, good explosion. Right here, boom, cuts back inside. Nice little move, cut back inside again, getting the first down.
Yep. Never quit on the play, kept going, kept the feet moving. 1st and 10 for the Bulls. Nice spin move, little B button action there from Jared Patterson. He's looked good on this drive, Jay, carrying the football for the Bulls.
I mentioned it on the first drive. When Mabry, the tight end 81, comes in motion and resets behind the line, a lot of times there's a high probability that they're going to follow Mabry. It's exactly what they did there. You have to know that defensively. As soon as you see him shift in the backfield, you're looking to follow him.
Last 4 plays, Jarrett Patterson, 30 yards he's put up. 2nd and 7 for the Bulls. There goes Mabry again. They give it to Patterson. Big hole up the middle. Patterson puts his head down and still going. A little bear crawl to keep it going there. And he'll move the chains, taking it down to the 36-yard line.
What offensive coordinators love in running backs is when they're one cut and go. And that's what you see in Patterson. Right there, he's pressing it wide, and then quickly, here he goes, pressing it, boop, one cut, and now I'm getting straight forward. That's tough on defenses.
If you're just joining us, and you're a fan of Buffalo, Anthony Johnson, star receiver for this Bulls team, has not played yet. Still dealing with a hamstring injury. Now they're going to take a shot. Tyree Jackson downfield, got a man, it's rushing. And there's the flag. Yep, I was waiting.
I'm looking at it. He gets hit before the ball gets there, and neither of them throw it. It was a late flag, but it's the right call.
Yes, it was. And Amanda Sauer-Cook's going to give us the word.
Pass interference, defense, number 5. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
That's on Devonnie Reed, the redshirt freshman out of Belleville, Michigan.
He comes across late. I think Rushing's going to catch this ball, and he just kind of panics and just hits him.
Shoved him out.
Not a good play. Another self-inflicted wound. Continuing to have penalties, and that's something when we talked to John Bonamego, he said the keys, we have to run the ball. We can't allow big plays. We got to keep the quarterback in the pocket. We have to not hurt ourselves, and you've seen it 5-6 times already today. Penalties hurting this Central Michigan team.
Big time. Bulls continue their march downfield. It's been a very good drive. Look at the effort turned in from Jarrett Patterson. My goodness. Just charging and charging, dragging defenders, setting up 1st and goal, Jake.
When you're an offensive line and your running back runs this hard, it gets you fired up. I mean, watch, here's one contact, break a tackle, another contact, continuing to churn, driving those legs, picked up about 10 yards after the first initial contact. Excellent job by the freshman. Very
impressive on this drive. His senior year of high school, had over 2,000 yards and 23 touchdowns. A very promising player. They told us he's already over-exceeded their expectations of him.
Well, I like the story when we talked to him about recruiting, you know, and that both of these guys, the twins, they wanted to play together. They wanted to be on the same team. They wanted somebody to take a chance on both of them. They didn't want to get separated. And boy, is Buffalo glad that they went and gave them both a scholarship, brought them both in.
No question. They're twins, but not identical.
Correct.
Fraternal twins.
Came in early in the spring. You're seeing that a lot. The freshmen playing are coming in early, getting to play spring ball.
8th play to drive. Tyree Jackson's going to see the goal line and take it in. The Michigan native back in his home state. Action Jackson takes one in. Bullseye for Buffalo. And they're on top now, 13-3. And a huge contingent of Buffalo fans here. And Tyree Jackson caps it off.
When you run the zone read and you fake and keep giving it to that running back, and then all of a sudden you pull it, and then you have the wheels to be able to get outside, that's tough to defend. And he hasn't run it often this year, but he's been very effective when he's doing it, gets the touchdown.
Here's Mitchison, comes on and tacks on the point after. And it's 14-3. Tyree Jackson caps it off on a drive that was highlighted by freshman running back Jarrett Patterson. Bulls on top, 14-3. So the scoring summary for the Bulls: 8 plays, 74 yards, took 423. Jarrett Patterson, 7 carries for 54 yards, and it was capped off by Tyree Jackson's 5-yard touchdown run. Let's look back at how they did it on the drive, Jake.
Yeah, I think this is a design quarterback run here. You're going to see them fake, receiver come across, tight end, running back, and then Jackson's going to keep it, and he has the speed at 6'7" to get all the way to the corner. Look at that defense. Everybody collapsing to Patterson. Jackson pulls it. And when you're 6'7" and you can run and motor, like, that's tough for a defense now. I said he had almost 400 yards rushing as a freshman. done a good job this year of running to throw the ball with that one. A nice design run, get the defense to collapse and get into the end zone. And if you're Central, you got to hurry up and get back in this game.
Saw Tyree Jackson there smiling, describes himself as just a big kid. His first rushing touchdown of the year. He had 4 last year, but as you pointed out so well, he's changed and progressed his game along to another level. They don't need him to run quite as much. Toughest Sport on Dirt takes the stage tomorrow night at 6 Eastern for the Ariat Invitational presented by Cooper Tires. The 25th PBR Unleash the Beast series continues right here on CBS Sports Network. You ever watch that just for 5 minutes?
Yeah, there's no way I could do it. I don't have the courage.
It's crazy. It's crazy good.
I've done it on a fake bull. I'm not getting on a real bull.
Urban cowboy now or what? Here goes Central Michigan. Lazaro going nowhere. Left ends getting over there. Hodge coming in to help finish off the play there on Lazaro. So what's Central got to do here in your mind to get things going?
I think they got to stretch it downfield. Brian Borland, defensive coordinator for Buffalo, has already made an adjustment. They know that Lazaro is trying to run the ball in the option. They're staying home and keying on him. So now you have to stretch it. You got to make plays downfield.
Lazaro steps up, fires, and the throw low. Intended target there was Julian Hicks. So that's going to bring up 3rd down and long for Central Michigan here, and the clock stopped with 6:56 to play until halftime.
I like trying to get the ball to Hicks. I think Lazaro should have just taken off. He got through the defensive line. He's going to get 4 or 5 yards. He just flings the ball onto the ground.
Line on Tommy Lazaro thus far. Big 3rd down for him here. Trying to convert. Got time. Taking a shot down the middle and incomplete. And fans want a flag. There is not a flag. And the coverage by Cameron Lewis, the senior out of Detroit.
There was certainly contact there. Lazaro did a good job. He's the outside receiver here. Comes all the way across your screen. A deep post. And there's the contact, but he didn't hit him. He didn't bring his hand down on the backside and grab her, his front side and grab him. Good job by Cam Lewis. I think that's a good no call.
Looking to connect with Brandon Childress, the most veteran guy in that receiving group for Central Michigan. Here's Sheldon to boot it away. Osborne backpedaling inside of his 20 from the 18. Little stutter step now, and KJ Osborne, good job by the coverage team to get down there and drop him as Osborne was trying to get away from a bunch. Gage Kresge down there to make the stop for Central Michigan. Buffalo on top, 14-3. They've got it when we come back. So last Buffalo possession, Jarrett Patterson, Jay, the freshman, 7 for 54 yards of total offense. 7 touches for 54 yards.
They've been effective running the ball, both Patterson and Marks. Marks has 42 yards. Patterson's got 44 yards. They're both averaging over 7 yards a carry. That's really where they've done their damage. You know, they only have 3 completions. Buffalo does. 2 of them to their tight end Mabry, 1 for a touchdown, and then Jackson ran it in for a touchdown. But they've been effective running the ball. And for Central, you got to find a way to get a turnover. You got to find a way to spark this team. You were really good last year. 31 turnovers last year, 3rd in the FBS for Central Michigan. Got to find a way to strip it, to run the ball, or get an interception.
There's Jackson incomplete to Mabry. Well, yeah, to your point, right now, entering this game, the Chippewa defense in total defense led the MAC, 336 yards a game allowed, 1st in interceptions, and 1st in pass defense at just 140 yards allowed per game.
And that's what Greg Colby, the defense coordinator, has done. He's had a really good defense for a number of years. Last year they were number 1 in the MAC as well against the pass at 185. So they know how to play defense.
Lost a lot in that secondary, but they've still managed, in guys like Amari Coleman, Josh Cox, but they've still managed to come up with 6 picks. So now if you're Central Michigan, as Malik Fountain makes the tackle, you need a stop right here in the worst way.
You need to stop. You'd love to get a turnover. The goal is 2 turnovers a game for Greg Colby. Always emphasizes stripping the ball. They continually preach that to this defense. You got him in 3rd and kind of a long situation here, 3rd and 6. So find a way to try to get after the quarterback and make a play on that ball.
So 3rd and 6. That's Osborne in motion. Jackson No sacks allowed for Buffalo this season. Jackson got it away. That's what he does. He finds KJ Osborne. Exactly what you've talked about. A beautiful play.
Such a great job by Tyree Jackson. There was nowhere to go with his ball. Central Michigan had won this down until Tyree Jackson extended it, got out. Watch him continue. As we roll this here, you're going to see Jackson roll out. Right, he comes out like this. There's nowhere to go with the ball. Osborne's in the middle. He's covered. Now he comes back out, and Tyree Jackson keeps his eyes downfield and finds him for the big play. That's what makes this offense so good.
That is beautiful to see. If you're a Buffalo fan, flag flies after a 27-yard gain. Took the ball down to the 44 of Central Michigan.
Offense, number 15. 15-yard penalty, 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
So that's on George Rushing, the grad student transferred in from Wisconsin.
Again, a receiver. I don't know what he was trying to do. If he's trying to trick the DB there, it wasn't like he was taking off to go.
Right.
It certainly didn't work. Cost his team 5 yards.
Seen a lot of that today. A handful of.
Yeah, way too much. Undisciplined.
Yeah, on the receivers on both teams. First and 15 now. Jackson. Again, that Buffalo O-line's protected him great. Only team in the country that's yet to allow a sack this season. Patterson the catch. And he got maybe a ball back over the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 15.
This line has done an excellent job. A lot of credit goes to Tyree Jackson, his ability to move, get outside the pocket, but no sacks allowed, and they throw the ball a lot. I mean, when your quarterback has 17 touchdown passes and you have 0 sacks, that's phenomenal. You know, Houston, we did them, they're number 2 at 1, and Army's 3rd at 2, but Army doesn't throw the ball
Not nearly as much, no. They are more this year, but
a little bit more, but nothing like these off, nothing like Houston or Buffalo.
Play clock winding down. Jackson calmly gets the snap away. Gonna fire one up, going to Osborne again. KJ Osborne! Oh, he's something special, folks. He makes a beautiful catch at the 10-yard line. And the young man from Ypsilanti, a 39-yard reception.
Watch this diving reception here. It's good defense. It's in good position. But just an excellent job. A great ball by Tyree Jackson. And Osborne lays out and catches that ball, protects it, secures it. Wow.
That was on Central Michigan's most experienced member of their secondary, Sean Bunting. As Jarrett Patterson gives it a go here and maybe a yard. It'll bring up 2nd and goal for the Bulls of Buffalo.
How do all the Michigan teams let all these great players get out and go to Buffalo, you know?
The great state of Michigan. Yeah, they got a few. That's one of them, Osborne. He and Tyler Mabry were high school teammates at Ypsilanti Lincoln High School, then went down to IMG. You got Tyree Jackson, their quarterback, of course. There are others, but those are some of the main guys. Their punter, Finnegan, a very good one. They got him out of Michigan as well. 2nd and goal, Jackson. Look into the far side, incomplete. And the intended target was Osborne. Crawford on the coverage for the Chippewas.
And that's where they miss Anthony Johnson. The ability to throw a fade like that, where at 6'2", he's so good going up, getting the ball. You can see all the players from Michigan, and really their best players. You know, Jackson, Osborne, other than Anthony Johnson, Mabry, and Hodge, you know, that's a list of their best players on that team. And you see a lot of guys there that are going to play at the next level. Jackson, Osborne, Harris, Lewis. You know, Anthony Johnson's probably going to be a 1st-round pick.
3rd down and goal. Osborne, single coverage, far side. They look that way. Jackson's going to throw it out there again, but led him too far. Xavier Crawford on the coverage, the young man that transferred here from Oregon State. So 4th and goal. They'll trot on Mitchison to try a field goal here.
Same play they tried twice, and they weren't able to do it. That's a play that definitely would have went to Anthony Johnson if he's healthy. Mitchison has only made 1 field goal on the year. Now, I watched him in warm-ups. He went back to 60 yards. This kid has a cannon. It's not his ability, it's in his head and mechanics that have really hindered him. They haven't had a lot of confidence in him. This would be a big kick for him, even though it's short.
230 career points in his career, trying to move into second place, and he does. His 233rd career point, moving past Patrick Clark. So the Bulls get points. Lance Leipold, his guys, a 2-touchdown lead here in Mount Pleasant with less than 3 to go until the half. Welcome back to Kelly Short Stadium here on the campus of Central Michigan University in Mount Pleasant. 9 plays, 66 yards, took 349. Mitchison, the 26-yard field goal. KJ Osborne, 66 yards on the drive, Jay, a 39 and a 27-yard reception for him to help key the offense.
You know, last week they lose to Army, their only loss. They're up 7-0. They have an opportunity to go up 14-0 or 10-0. They had 4th and 13. When they're up 7-0, they don't kick a 43-yard field goal. They go for it, don't get it. Then later in the first half, they try a field goal, get it blocked. Army runs it back for a touchdown. That was really where the game changed. If you're playing Army, that triple option, if you get up early, it changes the whole dynamics of that game.
It certainly does, and Army marched to a big victory that day, last Saturday in Buffalo. Here's Kobe Lewis. Lewis, good return on the youngster, almost out to the 30-yard line.
Kobe Lewis.
Kobe Lewis, a return of 26 yards. Coming up on the Ram halftime report, Adam Zucker, Rick Neuheisel, and Brian Jones will get you caught up on all of the scores and highlights in college football. Also preview number 5, LSU, and number 22, Florida. That one's on CBS at 3:30 today. That's all coming up on the Ram halftime report. Who do you like in that one?
So we got 2:40 here.
Yeah.
3 timeouts. Central's got to come down and try and get points here before halftime.
No question about it, they do. Lazaro throws, Sullivan incomplete as he was stuck pretty good there. And the ball popped out immediately.
This is a good pass. You got to bring this ball in. It's there. Kind of quickly bring it into your body, catch it, bring it into your body. You know you're going to get hit. You got to help your quarterback out. It's been a struggle offensively. Lazaro's 4 for 12. He's ran the ball 36 times, or 36 yards. He's their leading rusher.
Here he is again on the ground.
Lazaro, the ball carrier.
And Tommy Lazaro to the 32-yard line.
Got to be in a hurry here. I mean, you got all 3 timeouts. You want to try and get this first down. You got to be aggressive. You're down 17-3.
Central Michigan, they got the football to begin the game. Buffalo will get it, of course, to start the third quarter. So your point, they need some points. Lazaro, this does not help, and they get in there and get him, drop him down as Lazaro gets a hand up, and
leave for a play due to his helmet coming off.
Darius Mack's got to come out of the game, lost his helmet.
So they only had a 3-man rush defensively, Buffalo did. So you should have been able to pick that up and keep your quarterback in the pocket. They weren't able to do that. Brian Borland told us that they'd have a spy. 52 was the spy, steps up, makes the tackle, forced 4th down.
Timeout's been taken, 1:59 to go. We'll be right back after this. Year number 4 for Lance Leipold. Having a very good year, 4-1. You mentioned before the break, Jay, their only blemish, that loss last week at home against Army.
They didn't have their best receiver, Anthony Johnson. He played 3 plays. And
they
really
don't have him again today.
Yeah, and it was really more of a diversion than anything out there. They're worried about him getting healthy and being back for the whole season. He practiced a lot more this week. You know, they probably could have pressed him into action. He wanted to be out there for his team, which says a lot about the young man, that he wants to be out there for his team, that he's not trying to protect himself.
Flags all over the field turf. Central Michigan going back.
Offense, number 11. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
There's too many penalties thus far for John Bonamigo and his team. 7 for 56 yards. 50 yards, I stand corrected, the official number.
But
50.
way too many, you said it. I mean, just not being disciplined, hurting yourself.
Sheldon right into the breadbasket of Osborne. Osborne, a 9-yard run back for him there for KJ Osborne. So if you're Buffalo, 1:50 to go. Tyree Jackson's got 2 timeouts to use, and they already lead by 14, looking for more.
And you know they're going to be aggressive. They called timeout on 3rd down when they got to stop the clock. That tells you, hey, we're trying to score right here. You're up 17-3 and try and go get 7 more.
Michigan product. Tyree Jackson leads his guys up to the line. Kevin Marks is in the backfield next to Tyree Jackson.
Osborne had a big drive the last series.
He did. 60 plus through the air. This is Marks. Tell you what, both these youngsters, they have got two studs in Marks and Jarrett Patterson in the backfield.
Yeah, he's physical, runs with toughness. You saw him take on the tackle and just run right through the tackle. You got plenty of time here, but you need to be in a hurry. There's 1:30. Clock will stop when you get first downs to reset the chains.
And there's a nice play coming up from the corner by Sean Bunting. Make the stop there.
I'd call a timeout there if I were Buffalo.
Yeah. So 3rd and 4.
I mean, if you don't get it, you punt the ball down. You try to pin him inside the 10. You figure they haven't moved the ball well at all.
Yeah.
You're trusting your defense. If you get the first down here, quickly get up to the line. Be ready to go as they stop the clock when they move the chains.
Charlie Jones, the motion man, goes into the slot. They look for him. He's knocked down or fell down, one of the two. And no penalty flag, incomplete. 4th down upcoming. They're going to bring Finnegan on to punt it away. So 47 seconds remaining. Central Michigan's defense able to make a stand there.
Finnegan had a punt blocked against Temple. It was right through the middle of their shield, the 3-man protection. I would expect here that Central would come after this and try to block it.
Yeah, they had that punt blocked, and it was recovered for a touchdown by Ty Mason of Temple that day. Here come the Chippewas, but they don't get in there, and Finnegan gets it away. Not his best punt of the day, but he got it away.
No, it wasn't his best punt, but it was effective. They were coming after it. They were trying to block that punt. Good job by the Shield picking it up and punt the ball down about the 19. And you got 3 timeouts. You got 39 seconds. I don't expect Central to be aggressive here. I would think that John Bonamigo wants to go into halftime and light his team up a little bit, try to get some fire coming out in the second half.
Well, they do say their slogan around here for their football team is fire up chips.
I know.
Yeah.
It was a play on words.
I understand. We've worked together enough. Just putting a period on it. Well, they line up 4 wide. Lazaro from the gun. Taking a shot out near midfield, and Julian Hicks could not get to that one. 2nd down coming up. Clock stopped with 34 seconds remaining in the half. Brandon Williams on the coverage.
Had an opportunity here. You can see he's open there. If it's a good ball, he might make that catch. You've got to give your receiver a chance there. You're trying to be aggressive. You're going downfield. Give Hicks the opportunity to go up and make a play on that ball.
Lazaro 0 for his last 7 throwing it. Hicks had 7 catches against Northern Illinois, his breakout game and his biggest game of the year. Ward dragged down. You can hear the hitting, the helmet's pads popping all the way up here. And then Ward forced out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down coming up.
Well, that's what I thought we'd see. You know, Central came out and said, okay, let's take 1 shot. If we get it, good. Now we can be aggressive. Okay, it's incomplete. We'll be content to go to halftime.
And they're certainly content, as they're not even going to run the play. They're going to walk off. Buffalo will receive the kickoff when the 3rd quarter begins here at Kelly Short Stadium. So Tommy Lazaro and the Central Michigan Chippewas down to Tyree Jackson and the Buffalo Bulls 17-3 as we've reached halftime here. Game 1 of 4 on the day here on CBS Sports Network. This one in the Mid-American Conference. That'll do it for the first half. Buffalo 17, Central Michigan 3. Great to have you with us. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network.
You are watching the CS Sports Network Halftime Report, powered by Ram Trucks.
All right, welcome everyone to the Ram Halftime Report. Adam Zucker along with Rick Neuheisel and Brian Jones with the score in Mount Pleasant. Buffalo on top of Central Michigan 17-3 as we get you caught up on other action with our highlight blitz. And starting with the Red River Showdown, the man in the burnt orange coat takes it from here.
Is this a run or is this a pass? It looks like a pass. Probably counts for both, but 7 on the board for Oklahoma. Kyler Murray, Marquise Brown there. And then Sam Ellinger comes back for the Horns, hits Trey Watson on the wheel route. Horns up 7, and they're going to pad their lead with Ellinger keeping it on this run. But Oklahoma has come back with a touchdown with about 30 seconds left in the first half.
And how did that make you feel?
Horribly.
24-17 the score right now being played at the real Cotton Bowl, the Texas State Fair. Well, Alabama scoring early and often here, Rick, against Arkansas.
Stop me if you've seen this before. Quarterback stop. Tunga Bailoa goes up top, hits Jerry Jeudy in stride, 42-yard touchdown. Tunga Bailoa, 10 of 11, 334, and 4 touchdowns, guys.
That's
remarkable.
They scored on their first 3 possessions for the second straight week, and Tua now on the season, 18 touchdowns, no interceptions, and Alabama's never lost to Arkansas under Nick Saban. All right, meanwhile, Will Grier, he can throw some touchdowns. Most touchdown passes per game in the country. He's got multiple already against Kansas.
Yeah, he's had multiple in every game he's played there at West Virginia, including this one to Giovanni Haskins, except for last year versus Texas when he was injured.
And so a 21-7 score at the break, and West Virginia should be undefeated when they go to Texas to start a November gauntlet. Michigan and Maryland had to wait to start because of lightning. Karan Higdon, the key guy. When he goes for over 100 yards, Michigan is 8-0, so far scoreless against the Terps. Now, remember last week, Northwestern had a big early lead on Michigan. They're doing it again, this time against Michigan State, Rick.
Out of the blocks fast. Clayton Thorson connects here with J.J. Jefferson for a 34-yard touchdown. He's 14 of 20 for over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns thus far. They're holding on to a 14-6 early lead.
Final minute now of the first half there, and the Wildcats are going to try to hold on to this one. Meanwhile, NC State trying to stay undefeated. They have a 13-3 lead on a Boston College team without A.J. Dillon. He's not playing due to an ankle injury, so NC State tuning up for a game against Clemson. Missouri up 20-14 on the road, trying to get their first SEC win of the year. Drew Lock still has not thrown a touchdown pass in the game, but Maurier Crockett getting in there. And Syracuse, after blowing a double-digit lead at Clemson last week, already did so at Pitt. They scored the first 14 points. They've now seen that turned on them. And Central Michigan fans want to know what's happening elsewhere. Western Michigan with the 14-7 lead on Eastern Michigan. And we'll preview the marquee games coming up later today in our Saturday Spotlight when the Ram Halftime Report continues. All right, welcome back to the Ram Halftime Report. A reminder coming up next on CBS Sports Network, the first leg of the battle for the Commander-in-Chief's trophy when Navy visits Air Force, followed by UConn and Memphis. Well, let's take a look at our Saturday Spotlight, and we start with that matchup of service academies coming up next right here. It'll be tough to match the thriller these two played a year ago in Annapolis when the midshipmen held on for a 48-45 win despite blowing a big halftime lead. Meanwhile, Troy Calhoun's Falcons are a deceiving 1-3, Rick, losing those 3 by a total of 19 points.
Well, you just get your patriotic blood flowing when these service academies get going. Listen, a year ago, and we know they're triple option savants, these particular teams. A year ago, they were 3rd and 6th in the country in rushing. This year, Navy's doing their part of the deal. They're 3rd, but Air Force 35th. I'm going with Navy. Malcolm Perry continues to shine as their quarterback.
Yeah. You can't pick Army in this game here, B. All right, tonight in Blacksburg, 6th-ranked Notre Dame taking on number 24 Virginia Tech. Brian Kelly's team has looked more like the frightening Irish since naming Ian Book the starter. Book tossed 4 more touchdowns in last week's rout of Stanford as the Irish have put up 94 points in the last 2 games. Meanwhile, after being stunned by Old Dominion, backup QB Ryan Willis helping the Hokies rebound a win over Duke, and he'll get the start again here, BJ.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit different because I like this Book that I'm reading there at Notre Dame. Ian Book, since he took over, that offense is averaging 47 points a game, and they're running the rock, 245, 241, and 272 a week ago. I'm going with the frightening Irish.
There you go. Moving over now to the game you'll see on CBS at 3:30 Eastern, a top 25 SEC showdown. Number 5 LSU visiting the Swamp and number 22 Florida. A breakout performance for Tigers quarterback Joe Burrow last week, just under 400 total yards, 4 touchdowns, cruising to a win over Ole Miss. Meanwhile, after an emotional upset win in Starkville, Dan Mullen's Gators face their biggest test of the season as they try to prove they can be contenders in the East, Rick.
I know LSU's number 5 in the country, and I know Joe Burrow's the darling of Baton Rouge, but here's what I also know. The Gators are going home with 2 straight road wins in the SEC. I think they've got some swagger. I think Felipe Franks plays well. I'm on the Gators, and in light of their favorite son, Tom Petty, they do not back down.
Yeah, their other favorite son, Tim Tebow, is going to be in town, too. Finally, keeping it in the Sunshine State, Florida State squaring off against 17th-ranked Miami. The Noles seek a third straight win after rallying in Louisville behind a pair of fourth-quarter DeAndre Francois touchdown passes. It was the Canes who won in Tallahassee last season, but they've dropped 6 straight at home in this rivalry, BJ.
How about this, Ryder? I remember we used to be licking our chops waiting for this ball game. Not so much this season. I like Miami in this ball game. Florida State, they allow about 8 sacks or 8 tackles for loss per game. Miami racks up about 12 tackles for loss. Duck DeAndre Francois. The Canes win.
There you go. And a reminder, the NFL on CBS kicks off tomorrow with regional action. Many will see the Jaguars and Chiefs. It all gets started at noon Eastern with the NFL Today on the home of Super Bowl 53. Thank you for watching the Ram Halftime Report. Coming up, the second half of Buffalo and Central Michigan.
This has been the CBS Sports Network Halftime Report, powered by Ram Trucks.
We continue on from Kelly Short Stadium here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan in the Mid-American Conference. The Bulls of Buffalo on top of the Chippewas of Central Michigan by 14 at the break. Third quarter coming up momentarily. Just about set to begin the third quarter of play here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. This Mid-American Conference matchup. 17-3 Buffalo on top of the Chippewas, and a lot to pick from. What stands out the most for you, Jay?
Well, I think for John Bonamigo, he's got to go into halftime. I know he wasn't happy. I listened to his halftime interview at the radio, and he was fired up, not happy with his team and what they didn't do, the mistakes they made, the self-inflicted mistakes, penalties, things like that. It's homecoming. This is a must-win game for them in the MAC. They got to come out with a better effort. Buffalo pretty much did what they wanted. You don't have your best receiver. You're kind of keeping him on the shelf. Maybe you play him if you need him. Hopefully you can let him have another week of rest. If you can run the ball like they did and be able to throw the ball down the field to Osborne like they did, then you can keep Anthony Johnson on the sideline, and that's what's best.
Yeah, they have, and Tyree Jackson's done it with his arm, and he's done it with his legs in this football game. His team was 17 points so far, Jay, as we look at some key plays from the Michigan native Tyree Jackson.
Yeah, and I just like what he does so well. Rolling, keeping his eyes downfield, finding his tight end, and then a design quarterback boot right here, and the ability to outrun the defense. I think we've just seen really a glimpse of what Tyree Jackson can do. They're content to run the ball here. Patterson running the ball well, Marks running the ball well, taking a couple shots to Osborne, and really just kind of doing what they needed to do. I expect them to come out and really try to pound the ball, running the ball, get through this second half as quick as they can and try and get a win and get on to Akron.
They'll face Akron next week. 12 o'clock kickoff right here on CBS Sports Network. Great to have you with us here on this first Saturday in October with Jay Feely, all of our crew. My name is Ben Holden. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast so far. If you're a Buffalo fan, I'm sure you are, as Caden Keon handles their kickoffs for the most part. Charlie Jones will take it inside of the 5. Spin move and a big finish there by Central Michigan there.
You know, it's interesting. The new rule this year, he could have called a fair catch, caught it at the 1. They would have got the ball at the 25. I thought we'd see that a lot in college. Only 8% of kickoffs this year so far coming into this week have been fair caught. I thought that number would have been a lot higher. I think teams, would have said, hey, we're not going to take the chance of a penalty, a fumble. We'll take the ball at the 25, but you haven't really seen that.
Numbers on Tyree Jackson in the first half for the Bulls.
Not overwhelming, but very effective.
Yeah, for sure. Kevin Marks in the backfield. Marks has got the football.
Kevin Marks.
So they do have that stable, as you saw in the graphic, the running of the Bulls. They've been pretty much doing whatever they wanted to so far in this game. Malik Fountain with a tackle, and Fountain was 7 in the ball game for the Chippewas to lead them defensively in that department.
And we had an interesting conversation with Greg Colby about defending the RPO, which is the run pass option. Basically what that is, it's a run play, but you tag it with the pass play option. So as you put it into the running back's belly, as a quarterback, I can pull it out and throw it at any time. It presents a distinct challenge for the defense.
Kevin Marks, tough run, and he's a good-looking back. He's going to set him up for a 3rd and short, about a yard they'll need to convert. Mitch Stanizek in on the tackle.
You see the spread RPOs all over college now. You're seeing them now kind of filter down into the NFL level with some of these spread quarterbacks coming in, incorporating some of the same concepts. Really, the best thing you can do is line up in man coverage, which is what Greg Colby's been doing.
Here they go on 3rd and a yard, and Marks gets the tough yard. He's got the first down just across the 32-yard line, so he continues to run tough for these Buffalo Bulls.
It's a good job defensively, coming up, trying to make the play and get a stop. Marks did a good job of putting his head down and just being physical and running hard, knowing he had to get that 1.5 yards and get the first down.
Redshirted a year ago was Marks. He's out of Norfolk, Virginia. Really stepping up wide open is Tyler Mabry, and Mabry across the midfield line. And Buffalo with a 19-yard pickup there as Mabry makes another grab. He's got their touchdown reception, a 6-yard pass earlier.
That's Mabry's 3rd grab. Comes out and they just leave him wide open. The linebacker's got to come over. The cornerback took off, left Mabry, and went deep into the deep 3rd. Poor job of rotating. You can't leave Mabry open.
Makes him pay there. 1st and 10 now over the midfield line from the 47-yard line.
Empty backfield.
Hawkins, he was in there, but split out into a wide receiver spot. And Hawkins makes the catch. Alex Briones on the stop for Central Michigan.
Tyree Jackson missed a touchdown here. Watch up top, as you're going to see right here in the slot. Osborne goes deep, and nobody's with him. He's wide open. Watch this right here.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
It's an easy touchdown if Tyree Jackson goes up top to Osborne. He's like, please throw me the ball. I can walk him backwards.
Could have moonwalked in.
That's right.
LaFave goes in motion. One of their 2 tight ends on the ground. Marks with a burst and a spin. Bangs off the defender. And another first down for Buffalo to the 36-yard line. An 8-yard run to move the sticks, Jay.
When this offense gets Anthony Johnson back and healthy, they're going to be really dangerous. Because you have 2 running backs now in Patterson and Marks that are young and hungry and aggressive and run the ball hard and physical. And then you got a slot receiver in KJ Osborne, and then a home run threat over the top in Anthony Johnson with a 6'7" quarterback who can sling it. That's why I think this is the team that's going to win the MAC.
That game next week will be a big one.
Division
game with Akron. 2-game swing when you're playing those divisional games. Marks, not much room there, but he makes a lot out of look like nothing as he takes the ball nearly to the 30-yard line. Bring up 2nd down for Buffalo.
Well, and Akron won the East Division last year. They went 6-2 in the MAC. And if you look back at Buffalo, you shouldn't be surprised. They won their last 4 games to get to 6-6.
Yep.
Didn't get into a bowl game.
Yep.
It really kind of bothered them and rankled them, sat with them, and then they come out, they win their first 4 this year.
Into a bowl game in 2008. That season they did, the International Bowl. Here's a throw and a catch by Osborne, and Osborne's got the first down to the 25-yard line. They'll move the sticks again. Tackle by Briones.
That was a very similar play to last week when Osborne had a 53-yard touchdown against Army. A little bubble screen, a better job. You see Osborne coming right in the middle of your screen, getting it. You try to get 2 blockers in front. A good job by Central getting to that ball carrier, because if you give Osborne time, he can put a little move on you and get outside and then burst in the end zone like he did last week against Army.
Osborne, part of that first Buffalo recruiting class. He's got the ball once again, as was Tyree Jackson. Malik Fountain on the stop. 2nd and 9 upcoming. Double figures and plays on this drive. John Bonamigo hoping his defense can come up with a turnover.
Yeah, they need something right here. They're going to get a stop, try and get a turnover, force a missed field goal. Can't allow Buffalo to go in and get another touchdown.
No, you can't. Inside of 10, chewing up time on this drive. Jackson finds Osborne, and Osborne hustling. Did he get there?
Ball was on the ground, I think.
Ball was on the ground, it looked. But they've got him spotted right at the 15-yard line, and they're moving the sticks again. So methodically, Buffalo stampeding its way down the field here.
This was the same play the other way to Osborne. There's the ball on the ground.
Yeah.
Boy, that's exactly what Greg Colby needed. He needed to get a fumble, get on that ball. You're going to see right here as he comes across.
Briones.
Hand right on the ball. The Ishpeming native Briones, but Osborne was able to get it back. You know I was going to get that in there.
Youper.
I was waiting to get the Youper in there.
The Youper. When you're from Michigan, you're from the UP, you're known as a Youper.
That's right. That's where my wife's from.
That's right. Tyree Jackson under pressure. Gets it away, and he's going to throw it right into a Central Michigan defensive back's hand. Sean Bunting. He threw it away, and it's going to cost him. That's exactly what the Chippewas needed. Bunting had his first pick of the season last week in East Lansing, and he comes through with a big stop for Central Michigan.
First bad decision by Tyree Jackson all day. It's first down, just throw the ball away. You don't need to throw it into the end zone, and you throw it to nobody but Bunting. Bunting makes the interception. They had a fumble in the play before. They get the interception here, and Central got what they needed. Now, what can they do offensively?
We'll find out when we come back. So 8:56 remaining in the third quarter. Sean Bunting with his second pick in as many games. It stopped an 11-play, 63-yard drive, Jay. Buffalo had the ball for over 6 minutes, and we talked about it. It was exactly what they needed. Central Michigan, a turnover to help their cause and get them going.
They had to get a stop there. You couldn't allow Buffalo to get in to the end zone and go up 24-3. You had to get a stop. They got a fumble on Osborne, but they weren't able to recover it, and then they get the pick.
So the Chippewas trying to go and get something going. Tommy Lazzaro's got something going. Lazzaro over midfield, and he slides safely. A 31-yard pickup for Tommy Lazzaro. And the Chips, indeed, as they say in Mount Pleasant, fired up now.
And he's been their offense. He's got 70 yards. Okay, here was the pressure. There's Lazzaro taking it to the next level, and then you can see the wheels that he's got, being able to get outside. Excellent job.
And back out live, frozen. That one intended for Ward, but it hit the ground. He was ready to make something happen. Now he's favoring his right shoulder. Lazzaro 0 for his last 8, but the Chippewas have bigger concerns right now with that young man going off.
Well, Lazzaro missed an opening here. He had Ward. If he puts his foot in the ground, he kind of drifted backwards and threw it instead of stepping into the throw. You saw Ward kind of hurt his shoulder. Hopefully he's okay. That'd be a big loss for this offense.
Be a huge loss for him. Right side they go. Devin Spalding sets up a 3rd and short after an 8-yard pickup for Devin Spalding.
And I think you're in 4-down territory here. It's 3rd and 2. You're at the 42. You're down 17-3. You went in halftime with John Bonamigo. You lit your defense up, your offense up. Busted play.
Indeed it is, but it is a first down for Central Michigan to the 37-yard line. Tommy Lazzaro carries it again.
Not sure who made the mistake there, if it was the running backs or if it was the quarterback, but you see Lazzaro's going to go to his right. Nobody comes up. He just takes and puts his head down. A physical run and gets the first down.
Yeah, pretty good shot there. He delivered. The linebacker, James Patterson, number 20 for the Bulls defense. So Ward on the sideline getting some attention. Lazzaro, 12 rushes, 76 yards to the air this time. Catch is made by Sullivan. Ja'Cory Sullivan with the grab, and that's his first completion. You got to go all the way back to the end of the first quarter, Jace, with 2:45 left. It was a 17-yard play to Spalding. And Jonathan Ward on the bench right now.
Lazzaro's 5 for 15, only 58 yards and a pick. They've got to find a way to get the ball downfield.
Takes a look now. He's going to keep it. Slides again. He's got that slide down perfectly. We're going to spot him down at the 31.
That's one, though, I think he should have put his shoulder down again. He would have got the first down if he doesn't slide. Now it's 3rd down and short. But you got to, if he continues to run here as he comes around the corner, he's looking downfield to throw. He doesn't have anybody. It's a good decision.
Right.
But now right here, don't slide. Put your shoulder down and go get the first down.
So 3rd and 3. Now Lazaro takes a look to the sideline.
Buffalo was almost offsides
Looked
there.
that way, didn't it?
You know, as an offensive line, if you reach up and touch them, they're going to call it.
Right. On 3rd and 3, Lazaro, green grass, plenty of it. He's got the first down and then some. And he slides in safely inside of the 20-yard line. First down, Chippewas, gain of 12.
And that was a good decision to slide. An excellent job here. The best offensive play they've had has been him running the ball. Lazaro drops, and then nothing there, so he quickly gets to that next level. He's almost at 100 yards. He got 91 yards, averaging 6.5 a carry.
He's getting it done. Now this is one of their youngsters, Kobe Lewis. Takes it there with Jonathan Ward. Last time we saw him, he was on the bench.
Yeah, he hasn't come back into the game.
Good looking drive here for Central Michigan after the interception by Sean Bunting. To the 15-yard line, quick throw, quick catch there made. Caught by Cameron Cole. Buffalo was marching downfield. Good looking drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
As long as you don't lose any yardage, again, I think you're in 2-down territory. I think John Bonamigo's got to be thinking, we need to get a touchdown here. Field goals aren't going to get us back in this game. The guy I'd like to see them go to is Hicks. You know, find a way to get Julian Hicks the ball.
30-second timeout, Central Michigan.
Ian Lazaro, you heard from our referee, Amanda Sauer-Cook, timeout, Central Michigan. They've got some really good chemistry, and it all started in that Northern Illinois game. I'm with you because, to me, from what I've seen, and we're both doing preparation, watching tape like always, he's been the guy. I mean, Childress is a guy that can stretch the field, but Hicks has been the guy that they've been comfortable throwing it to.
Yeah, and when we talked to them, they talked about that Hicks has more ability, more natural ability. He's more dynamic than any other player they have on their team. So you got to find a way to get him the ball. He gave him a jet sweep earlier in the game. He took it for 12 yards. He doesn't have a catch on the game. So if he's your best player, your best weapon, you got to find ways to get him the ball. They really haven't stretched the field much at all.
Jonathan Ward is still not in the game. Romello Ross is next to Tommy Lazaro, and Romello Ross has got it! Romello Ross, touchdown! Central Michigan, 10-yard run, and the Chips get a much-needed touchdown. Fire up Chips, as they say in Mount Pleasant. They're fired up now, trying to make this a 7-point game, Jay.
The whole drive was about running the ball, get the defense to collapse a little and hit it up the middle quick. It all started with Bunting and his interception. Tyree Jackson made a poor decision, threw the ball up. Bunting got the pick. Central's back in this game.
They are. 17-10 game. 10 plays, 80 yards. Tommy Lazaro, Romello Ross, his first touchdown of the season. It's a big one, 7-point game now. Well, threes are wild here for Central Michigan. Romello Ross, who wears number 3 on offense. Touchdown run. Sean Bunting, the interception to help get Central Michigan the ball, and that key turnover that we talked about as Buffalo was methodically marching down the field to set things up for the Chips.
And Bunting wears number 3 on defense, so
exactly.
Threes are
wild.
A good drive for 3 there. That's right.
Yeah.
I like that number. I wore 3.
That's right. 10 plays, 80 yards. Took 3 minutes and 32 seconds. And it's teed up. Caden Keon will boot it away from the 35-yard line. And it's a touchdown game now here in Mount Pleasant. Keon, who's from St. Louis, Michigan. It's about 25 minutes away. He told me yesterday, he said, I just commute now. Goes back and forth. The Chips are clearly fired up now as Tyree Jackson makes his way back on to try to get his offense on track with 5:19 to go in the quarter.
Buffalo was rolling here. You got first down. Watch the pressure inside here first by Brisson Fast, and then the pressure coming from the outside, forcing Jackson into the poor decision. There's the pressure initially. And then you get pressure, and Jackson just throws it up. I think he thought his receiver was going to cut back out, or maybe he's throwing it away. In any case, it was a huge turnover, exactly what Greg Colby told us. He said, we have to get pressure on Jackson, and then we need to have turnovers. They got one. Now they need a second one, really, to get back in this game, which is what he said. Our goal is 2 per game.
Yep. That was Sean Adesanya that applied the last amount of pressure there on Tyree Jackson. He's a transfer from Illinois, and big upside he's got. You saw it there as he got in the face of Tyree Jackson. Kevin Marks, big hole, bursting left side. Kevin Marks breaks away. Kevin Marks trying to take this one in for the touchdown, and he does. No flags. Touchdown Buffalo. Bullseye. 70-yard trot for Marks.
Just a heartbreaker for Central. You get the interception, you drive down the field and get a touchdown. You're back in the game, and then you come out and you give up a 70-yarder. Now, give credit to Marks and that offensive line. An excellent job by the offensive line opening up, and then it's all Marks, just breaking tackles, and then you see the speed and the explosion. For a 6', 200-pound back, he's got a lot of speed. That's an excellent back right there.
He has scored in 5 straight games on the ground as you see the rain starting to come down. And Kevin Marks, 70 yards, 11-second drive for the house call for Buffalo, and the Bulls back up 14. Kevin Marks, 70-yard touchdown before the break. Also had a 29-yard run on their first drive that helped set up their first touchdown. And let's look back at it, Jay.
The running back always gets the credit, but it starts with this offensive line. As we roll through this here, you're going to see this left side, Kazarzak, Nosworthy, and Hagan. Look at right here as they get this great wall, and then right here, Antonio Nunn in the second level. If you want big runs, your wide receivers have to block. Antonio Nunn locks up the corner, and then Marks does the rest, breaking a tackle and busting off a 70-yarder. He's got 142 yards, 11.8 average per carry. Career high for him. It was 138 against Temple. I mean, that was a huge play in this game, and Marks is a special back for them.
He really is. The 2 youngsters, Marks and Jarrett Patterson, have seen the majority of the carries, and they have been awesome so far today. Time now to look at the AP poll powered by Ram Trucks. All right, your thoughts on this, Feely?
Can anybody slow down Alabama at all? I mean, look at this, 41-14.
I think Georgia's the only team.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, right now, you're looking at Notre Dame. I think they're going to go undefeated. They'll be one of the Final 4 teams.
Big one tonight.
Ohio State, Michigan, you know, that's going to be that game at the end of the year. A big one tonight, obviously. I think Georgia will be there. I think Alabama will be there. I think Notre Dame will be there. And I think the winner of the Michigan-Ohio State game, you know, Michigan's got a chance with that one loss to Notre Dame to get into it and sneak into it.
They do, and back to work we go. In Central Michigan, it's Tommy Lazzaro with the ball. Kevin Marks, you mentioned his career high 142, eclipsing that mark he set at Temple when he scored his first 2 touchdowns in his Buffalo career. He flew down that sideline, made it look easy. Chippewas trying to counter.
False start.
Yep, another one.
Left side of that offensive line.
Self-inflicted penalties have hurt him all day.
False start, offense. Everyone but the center. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
I love it when they do that.
Yeah, I do too. 9 penalties, Jay.
That's brutal.
For 60 yards against Bonamigo's guys.
And that's why Bonamigo was so upset. And,
yeah.
And when the center doesn't move and everybody else does, you know it's on him. You know, and you're sitting there, if you're Steve Eiper and you're the center, you're like, uh-oh, I just messed up. Everybody's moving.
Yeah. And everyone's looking at me.
That's right.
Lazzaro, near side, catch is made. Spalding continues to be very involved. It's a first down, Central Michigan.
That was a really good ball. That's probably the best ball that Lazzaro's thrown all day, because he had to throw it over a linebacker and then drop it into his receiver. That's a nice ball, and they got to continue to push it downfield. You can't just rely on Lazzaro running the ball and some bubble screens. You got to go downfield. You got to make a play and stretch this defense a little bit.
And a 10-play, 80-yard drive, their last possession. Kobe Lewis has it. Lewis, I like him a lot. He's been more involved as the last couple of weeks have gone on. Promising youngster. If you're just joining us, you're a Central Michigan fan. Jonathan Ward injured earlier in this third quarter, their star running back.
On a pass, he went down, landed on his shoulder.
I think his right shoulder. Have not seen him back in the game yet. Lazaro, pressure coming, gets out of there, trying to find a seam, and oh man, did he ever make the right move there? Is Khalil Hodge, who with that tackle now has 350 in his career, Jay.
I think Lazaro should have gone outside. I think there was room outside. Right here, if he bounces it, I think he might have a first down, and then a really good decision. Self-preservation. When I see Khalil Hodge coming at me, I'm getting down too.
He was coming after him in a hurry. Lazaro taking that shot you talked about. Far sideline. And there's a flag.
It's offsides on Buffalo. It's a good decision to take a shot there. It's a free play.
Amanda Sauercook.
Offsides, defense, number 50. 5-yard pad, results in a first down.
So that's on Malcolm Kuntz. The guilty one there, as you caught, Jay, the penalty call with 2:58 to go. That's 4 penalties for 38 yards on Buffalo.
It has not been a disciplined game on either side of the ball. Either team.
First and 10, Lazaro. It's caught by Sullivan. Sullivan's got the first down and then some. Taken down inside of the 30-yard line is Ja'Cory Sullivan. The Chippewas driving down inside of Buffalo territory again. A gain of 23.
That's a poor job by Tatum Slack. It's just a little quick hitch. Come up and make the play. It's a 4-yard gain. Watch Tatum Slack, number 9 here. It's there. Just make the tackle, and he goes outside, and then he allows the big gain. Just come up, make the play.
Simple as that, right? Lazaro changing things up. 2.5 to go in the third quarter. Lazaro under pressure. He got away somehow. Good work to get away from Malcolm Kuntz, I believe, who had him, and he just slithered and slipped out of there.
There was coverage downfield. There was really nowhere to go with this ball. You're going to see a good job by this Buffalo defense. Could have maybe gone to Hicks there.
Yeah.
But Lazaro's got to be careful. That ball was swinging all over the place. I was waiting for somebody like Hodge to come across, hit that arm, and cause a fumble.
Yep. And it has rained a little bit here in the third quarter. They keep those dry, but still moisture and dampness. There's a shot into the end zone. Caught, touchdown! Ja'Cory Sullivan, 23-yard strike. And the Chippewas with 1:47 to go in the quarter on the board again. It's an 8-point game.
They line up, twins to the right. You see a post, little smash concept, a poor job defensively, getting lost, not knowing where your leverage is. Lazaro made him pay. And again, another nice drive by Central, going down the field, finding a way to move the ball and get a touchdown.
Tice tacks on the point after. The second career touchdown for Ja'Cory Sullivan, this Muskegon, Michigan product, and the Chippewas back to within 7. CBS's Super Bowl season continues tomorrow when Jacksonville and their top defense tries to slow down undefeated KC and red-hot Patrick Mahomes. And a divisional matchup out west, Oakland and the LA Chargers. Check your local listings for the game in your area and kick off your Sunday with the NFL Today, powered by Ram Trucks at 12 Eastern. And Jay, how about these two guys out of the MAC? Eric Fisher in 2013, the #1 pick by Kansas City, and Kareem Hunt, we saw a ton of him, a Chiefs pick as well.
Hey, Rookie of the Year last year, Kareem Hunt doing it again this year. Patrick Mahomes playing awesome. I can't wait to watch that Jacksonville-Kansas City game. You got the best defense in the league in Jacksonville going up against the hottest offense in Kansas City.
Can Mahomes keep it going? He's your guy, man.
He is. I loved him last year.
Yeah, I know you did.
I did the game, his only start last year against Denver, last game of the season. He made some throws that made me say, okay, this kid's for real. You know, only maybe Aaron Rodgers can make some of those throws, and he's lived up to all the hype, that's for sure.
Indeed he has. Charlie Jones, good football game has developed here. As I like to say, you never know what's going to happen. The ultimate reality TV. Take us through this touchdown,
All right,
Jay.
you got an out and up on the inside, the slot receiver, and then just a post right there. And watch the safety here, Tyrone Hill, get caught looking at the out and up. He's got to be back and recognize lets the receiver go, and it's an easy touchdown. A good throw by Lazaro, and an excellent answer after giving up a 70-yard run to come back and to drive down the field and get a touchdown. That was huge.
No question. And Kevin Marks, who had that 70-yard touchdown run, lined up, takes the fake from Jackson. Now Jackson throws it out. It is bobbled and dropped. You will not see KJ Osborne do that very often. And Jackson's like, man, I know you normally catch that. What happened?
I love seeing the way that he plays with just a joy.
I do too.
When I played happy, when I was out there having fun, that's when I played my best. And when you watch Tyree Jackson, that's what you see. I think Osborne was already looking downfield to kind of see where his blocks were. You know, kind of cut back inside, just took his attention off the ball. Jackson
says he's just a big kid. He's always smiling, happy just to simply wake up every day. Central Michigan, Briones and company, Fountain over there, and Crawford in there. Mike Dana helping out as well. So the Chippewas here with 80 seconds remaining in the quarter. It is 3rd and 7. They are looking to come up with another big stop here against Tyree Jackson and company.
Fountain and Briones, the two linebackers, have 16 tackles between the two of them. This is a huge down here. There's 3rd down, single coverage at the bottom of your screen.
That's Osborne in motion. Into the slot near side. Jackson takes a look, fires toward the stick, incomplete. Looking for Antonio Nunn, and the Chippewas will have none of it, I suppose. Forcing the punt.
Huge stop for Greg Colby and his defense. You know, you get the touchdown at the beginning here, you get an interception, you get the touchdown. Then you give up a 70-yard run. Then your offense goes back down the field and scores. You got to come out and get a stop, and that's exactly what they did.
Well, Sabah is back awaiting the punt from Finnegan. Sabah back at his 30. Finnegan booms this thing. Oh my goodness. Wow. How about that?
69-yard punt. Unlucky that it didn't check up for him. He went in the end zone for a touchback. It was almost blocked. Central got good pressure, and then he uncorked a bomb.
He averaged 51 per punt last week against Army. That was a big punt. So Tommy Lazaro, 9 for 19. 117 yards through the air. He's got 103 on the ground. He's been their offense.
He certainly has.
Jonathan Ward, not see him on the field at this point in time. Sullivan, Ja'Cory Sullivan on that last drive, 2 receptions, 48 yards, and that touchdown drive for the Chippewas. Devin Spalding, and he's going to lose yardage there. Back to about the 18-yard line. Kadofi right on the stop for Buffalo. So under half a minute to go until the 3rd quarter comes to an end. John Bonamigo apparently got his team fired up in there at halftime, and his team's back into this game down by a touchdown. Gawilli lined up next to Lazaro. Lazaro fakes the throw, almost lost it. And Eddie Wilson dropped him. And that should be the end of the quarter with Buffalo on top 24-17 here in Mount Pleasant. That'll do it for 3 quarters here at Kelly Short Stadium. It's homecoming for the Chippewas, trying to come back and win this one. You're watching college football on CBS Sports Network. And we will be back to Kelly Short Stadium here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan with Jay Feely. My name is Ben Holden. All of our crew, we appreciate their efforts. Jay, the game summary, the penalty line highlighted. Anything else grabbing your eyes from those numbers?
Well, Central's 3 for 3 on 3rd down in the 3rd quarter. Got back in this game. They went in down 17-3 at halftime. It's gone down, scored 2 touchdowns, and really got themselves back in the game. Now they have the ball. Can they go down? Try and even this game up.
Saw Lance Leipold, his team, they got out to a 4-0 start, dropped the game at home last week to Army, trying to get back on track. The Chippewas trying to get their 2nd win of the season on homecoming. It's intercepted. It's intercepted by Cam Lewis. And the Detroit product comes up with another big play for Buffalo. First play of the 4th quarter, and the Bulls have it back.
They bring the pressure right here, 31, and then Hodge is going to come as well. And they bring the pressure, get a hit. Lazaro just throws it up. Buffalo gets an interception, and if you're Central, that's what you can't do. You can't afford. You've gotten yourself back in the game. You have the ball. Even if it's not there, you throw it away. You can't turn the ball over and give it back to this offense.
Second interception of the day for the Bulls. Here's Marks. Down around the ankles was Malik Fountain, and there's a good look at Cameron Lewis. His 5th career interception. Brandon Williams had the other one earlier today. He's been dealing with an ankle. He's had a lot of injury problems. Last year, at one point, he was playing with one of those casts, those clubs. He had 3 different surgeries on his hand, and get that taken care of. Big play for him there. Mabry goes in motion. Hand it off here, and Marks. He's tackled by Alex Briones.
This offense has got to have a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Other than the Marks' big run, the 70-yard touchdown run, I feel like they've been nonchalant.
I kind of agree with you.
Tyree Jackson throws one up, it gets intercepted. It's like there's no sense of urgency. Well, hey, you're in a ball game now. You were in control the entire first half, but now it's a 7-point game.
Central Michigan, 10 interceptions this season. Lazaro hoping the Chippewa defense can come up big here on 3rd and 7. Marks cuts back, still going, still charging, and he's going to be about a yard short.
And they're going to go for it. To me, if you call a run play there, you've already made up your mind that you're in two-down territory, and you're going to go for it on 4th down.
And Leipold, 4th year, as is John Bonamigo in his 4th year at his school. Still blown away and impressed by that number on Leipold. 100 career wins, faster than any coach in the history of any division of college football. Here's the 4th down. You called it, Jay. They're going for it. They need the 29. They need 3 feet. And Marks, he's got 3 feet and then some. Runs over a defender. And taken down finally inside of the 20. Devonnie Reed took the shot.
Physical, tough running for the freshman. Watch this initial contact. It's behind the line to gain right there. Runs through it and then continues to run. Physical running, getting the 1st down, moving the chains. I like this running back. I
really do too. That was Trevor Apsey that he first ran over. An 11-yard pickup for Kevin Marks. He is impressive. 17 for 165. And that 70-yard sprint he had to the end zone. He gets it here now. Chippewas string him out. The pickup. 3 on the carry is Kevin Marks. Rain starting to come down here in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. First half was all dry. Started to rain a little bit midway through the 3rd quarter. Good look at it there, and ponchos abound here at Kelly Short Stadium. Kevin Marks, a half-dozen carries. They spell him, and this is Jarrett Patterson with it. On 2nd down and 7. They'll set up a 3rd and about 5, it looks, where they're spotting him.
Left guard, Paul Nosworthy's down.
Yes. That line has been great. No sacks allowed. Nosworthy transferred in from Grambling. New York State product from Baldwin, New York, as they tend to him. Tyree Jackson and the Buffalo offense huddle up. Most athletic and their fastest offensive lineman, according to offensive coordinator Andy Kotelnicki. The whole group's played well all year.
They certainly have. When you haven't given up any sacks and you're running the ball well, you got 234 yards rushing today. You're looking at 72, the left guard right there.
Locking Brisson fast there.
I think he just gets rolled up on right here.
Ouch.
Yeah, right at the end.
Oof. Trying to take down Jarrett Patterson, whoever that was in that massive bodies. So we're going to step aside while they continue to tend to Paul Nosworthy early on here in quarter number 4 in Mount Pleasant. There is Paul Nosworthy. They got him off the field. Working on his right leg. We won't speculate, but he's out of the game, Jay. But a 3rd and 5 is Trey DeRoven. He's come into the ball game to replace Nosworthy. 3rd and 5. What do you think they do? They just keep running it?
I think they do. That's what you've been doing well this entire game. You got over 230 yards rushing. Well, the strength of that defense, Fountain and Barones, they have 19 tackles between the two of them in this game, and you have a new left guard in there.
That's Mabry in motion. Jarrett Patterson behind Jackson. Patterson gets it. Patterson still with it. Stiff arm. End zone touchdown. Jarrett Patterson. 14-yard run. Another bullseye as Buffalo scores again. And it's now 30-17 early in the 4th.
How about these two freshman backs?
Unreal.
I mean, Marks and Patterson have so much talent between the two of them. It's a great luxury to be able to switch them out, bring them in. The guy's fresh. Patterson's been sitting on the bench. He's ready. He gets in here and then just takes it over and explodes. And he's not going to be denied getting in the end zone. That's a huge touchdown for Buffalo.
Certainly is. His 4th touchdown of the season via the rush. And Mitchison able to get that one up and through, and it's 31-17. Buffalo back on top by 2 scores early on in the 4th quarter, thanks to 2 freshmen toting the rock.
College football on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Old Trapper Beef Jerky. What's your beef? By Principal. Investments, retirement, insurance. We can help you plan for that. And by Phillips 66. Proud to be here.
Well, it's homecoming here today in Mount Pleasant for Central Michigan. Buffalo, they intend on crashing this party.
Yeah, they had an
plan?
opportunity here. The crowd was getting into it. They were down a touchdown, and Lazaro threw the interception.
But these freshmen,
they've been really impressive.
bulls on parade.
Yeah, both of them have been really impressive. Marks has got 167 yards, averaging 9.3 a carry, and Patterson 66, averaging 6.6 and a touchdown each.
Yep.
And they're doing it, like we've said, throughout without their best receiver, their All-American, and Anthony Johnson.
Yes, has not played today. He played limited snaps last week against Army. And as the Chippewas look to get something going here, let's take a look back at what led to that last touchdown, the 14-yard TD run, the pick by Cameron Lewis.
Yeah, it was 3rd and long. Lazaro just trying to make a play. He's got pressure. Both Hodge gets in there and gets a hit. He overthrows his receiver, and Cam Lewis is there. Says, thank you very much. I'll take that interception. He had 2 against Temple earlier this year.
So Tommy Lazaro, how does he respond and react from that? Chippewas have been without Jonathan Ward here for a big majority of this second half. Went out like he injured his shoulder. Have not seen him since. That was Romello Ross on the carry.
They got 165 yards rushing. They've been able to run the ball. Most of that is from Lazaro. He's got 102 himself. They got to be in a hurry because now you're down 2 touchdowns. You got to try to continue to run the ball and then take some shots deep.
Lazaro, there's the shot, Jay, as they look. And that's broken up. And a better opportunity there for a pre-Washington to catch that than Cameron Cole.
Yeah, and Cameron Cole didn't help his quarterback out. Lazaro throws a pretty good ball. He's got to get his hands off the corner and go up and make this play. He never goes up and high points it. We saw early in the first half when you went up and high point, I think it was Osborne, and it was a beautiful catch. Cole doesn't. He waits for the ball to come down. That allows the DB to knock it away.
So 3rd down and 7. Harris puts some pressure on from the end, but Lazaro gets away. Now directing traffic, throws, and it's intercepted! Deflected and intercepted.
Lazaro's
And coming up with a pick is Joey Banks. On the deflection, he was looking for Jamil Sabah.
And Jamil Sabah should have caught this ball. It's a good job by Tommy Lazaro. He buys time, kind of like Tyree Jackson, rolling right, and then his receiver does a good job of getting open. Here's Jamal Sabal. You're going to see him kind of come in, and that's when Lazaro throws the ball, and it's open, and it's going to be a first down. He goes out, and then now he goes back inside, and here's the ball. He leads him to space, and he just doesn't make the play, and then it leads to an interception. That's really the story of the day.
It really is.
Central not hurting themselves, mistakes, turnovers, penalties.
And the ball carrier there was Jared Patterson. He was down when that ball came out, and Brandon Williams involved in the play defensively for Buffalo. And Buffalo now, as we come up on 10 to play with a 2-touchdown lead, will try and just bleed clock and run the football. I mean, from the outside, you look at Buffalo when the year starts. You got, of course, Johnson, the talented receiver, and Tyree Jackson, and all these different weapons. And this team showed me something. This team can run the ball. It's a multi-dimensional team that doesn't have their best wide receiver, and they've turned to the run game and been dominant today. There's another first down for them across the 45 of Central Michigan.
And when they came into the season, they kind of thought Emmanuel Reed would be their back.
Yeah.
But these two freshmen, Marks and Patterson, have burst onto the scene, and they've changed the dynamics of this offense, because now, when you've rushed the ball for 250 yards, that they came into this game, and I believe Lance Leipold felt like they were the better team.
Yep.
They had more talent. We don't have to risk Anthony Johnson, even though he practiced a lot more this week. If the game allows us to, we're going to keep him on the sideline, and we're going to try to run the ball and win this game, and that's really what they've done.
They really have. They've done it incredibly well. Jared Patterson, minimal pickup there of just about a yard, really, and Buffalo trying to win 3 straight road games in a season for the first time since their MAC championship season of 2008. They're on course. This team can be something special this year.
They played Temple at Temple. They get a good win against a pretty good Temple team. They go to Eastern, beat Eastern. That was at home, and then they beat Rutgers, a Big Ten team, on the road.
Right. Good-looking football team they've got, led by that young man who's about 2 hours from home, Tyree Jackson. Tons of room, and they just continue to chew it up. Jared Patterson spinning, weaving, slicing, and this is a first down. They'll move the chains again. And an injured Central Michigan player, slow to get back to his feet there, and now does. It's Taiwan Swain, as they tend to him.
So important for Buffalo to get this win, to get the bad taste out of there. They did not play well in the second half of that game against Army, and Army kept the ball and continued to run it and beat them 42-13, but everything is right there in front of them, not only for the MAC, but even a potential of being that group of 5 team. You look around the country and you look at UCF and USF and Cincinnati, who's undefeated, and out west, Boise State, who I had last week, they have 1 loss, and who's going to be that group of 5 team? If Buffalo reels off and is undefeated and or has 1 loss and only undefeated in the MAC, they could sneak in possibly and be that team. But this game was so important because the next 2 games, Akron and at Toledo, that's going to determine the MAC and really that East Championship, who's going to be the team to come out and get into that MAC championship.
They do play at Ohio November the 14th. Inside of 8 minutes remaining now. First down and 10, fresh set of downs here for the Bulls. 257 of 272 prior to this carry on the ground today by Buffalo. What a job they've done running the football. Coming up next, first battle in the Commander-in-Chief's Trophy Series. Navy takes on Air Force. That'll be followed by UConn taking on Memphis at 7 Eastern. And in the late night slot tonight, don't miss a Mountain West showdown between Colorado State and San Jose State right here on CBS Sports Network. And the academies,
they all run the ball. They run the triple option.
And that's where Navy's at. Air Force
struggling 1-3. Navy's 2-2.
Look out here. It goes. Another big run from Buffalo, and that's Jared Patterson again.
Jared Patterson, the ball carrier.
Just continuing to chew up yardage on the ground. 25-yard pickup, Jay.
Both of these freshmen, they're explosive. They run hard. They're physical. Patterson's not as big. He's 5'9". He plays big though. Marks is 6 foot.
Very impressed by both those young men.
Patterson's over 100. They're both over 100 now. 167 for Marks, 117 for Patterson.
Yeah, last time that's happened for Buffalo, November 11 of 2014. Here goes Patterson again.
Jared Patterson.
And Anthon Taylor and Jordan Johnson did it against Akron.
This is a team that came in Buffalo. They were 243 yards through the air, 151 on the ground, although they run the ball a lot first and second down. 65% run on the year on first down, 60% on second down. But the fact that these running backs, these two freshman running backs, are developing and becoming weapons, looking forward, bodes very well for this offense and this team.
With you on that, Jay, 100%. First time having Buffalo live this season. We've had them a couple times in the past at Army. Jackson pulled it out and then gets dropped by Briones. So Alex Briones.
It was a zone read, and Tyree Jackson kept it.
Yeah.
Good job by Briones, making the UP proud.
Fine young Uper. Timeout has been taken with 4:23 remaining, and here's what you're talking about. Wunmi Oyatuga got a piece of it, and Elijah Riley just housed it, took it back 80.
That field goal block was not Mitchison's fault. Oyatuga got in there, did a good job swimming the guard, and then got penetration. But Adam Mitchison missed a field goal, missed 3 PATs. His coach hasn't had confidence in him, but this is a kid, you talked about it in the first half, has made a ton of field goals. 41 made field goals, 42 made field goals for this team in his career, and he's got a ton of talent. I watched him in pregame. I talked to Lance Leipold about it. We were talking about, okay, what do I see with him? And I think it's more mental than anything. He just has to block out all the other things, worrying about misses and all that kind of stuff, and just focus on your fundamentals and make kicks.
Mitchison
trying for his 42nd career field goal. The Buffalo record is 44, and Mitchison bangs it through.
Yeah, you can see he pounds that ball. He's got a ton of talent.
Yep. He puts it through, and the Bulls doubling up Central Michigan here, late stages of the fourth, 34-17. Time now for our player of the game. It's brought to us today by Old Trapper Beef Jerky, and it's number 5 in white, Jay.
Yeah, we're on the mark with this one. Kevin Marks,
we are.
70 yards to the house. You can see the explosion when he gets into that next level. Marks and Patterson have been really impressive. 296 yards rushing for this Buffalo team. 167 for Marks, 121 for Patterson, and a new wrinkle to this offense that makes them really dynamic and scary going forward.
It really does.
I can't say it enough how much of a loss it is to not have Anthony Johnson and how good he is. We saw Corey Davis a few years ago at Western Michigan. He was a top 5 pick, and Anthony Johnson's going to be a first-round pick, I believe, in that next draft. So to not have him and to be able to turn to the running game.
Big. Very impressed by this Buffalo team today. Kobe Lewis from the 3.
Oh!
Big return from Lewis there. Jay saw something on that return that I know he's going to comment on. A 35-yard run as he's pulling me over to him.
He could have had a touchdown. I mean, they blocked this perfectly. If he breaks it to the outside, it's a really good return by Lewis. But it had the potential to get them back in the game, because if he breaks it to the outside, watch here as he's going. As he comes up, if he breaks it right, don't cut back inside. Cut right, go outside, and he's probably going to have a touchdown. From my angle, it was a much bigger hole than you could see right there. And it's a good return, but it could have been excellent.
Yeah. You've taught me more about special teams in 4 years than I've ever known. Here's a ball downfield that's picked off by Buffalo. Apri Washington comes up with a pick. 4 interceptions today for the Buffalo Bulls. 4:04 to go in the ball game. And Apri Washington matched up with Ja'Cory Sullivan. Easy play for Washington. Well, we got the opportunity now, Jay. Let's check in with our principal financial game plan. Your keys, how'd they pan out?
Well, the one interception by Tyree Jackson really kept Central Michigan in the game for a little bit. They shut down Ward. Central ran the ball decently, mostly with Lazaro, who had 102 yards rushing. They did not get pressure on Tyree Jackson. The one sack led to the interception, or pressure. They had one sack and another pressure that led to the interception. But for the most part, this game is about the running game for Buffalo. They have found two good running backs, and they're two freshmen. They run for almost 300 yards, 296.
Yep. 288 of that 296 by freshmen. As we're inside of 4 minutes to play now, and big lead here, 17 points for Buffalo on the brink, it appears, of going to 5-1.
I want to give Lance Leipold a lot of credit because he came in. Buffalo is not an easy team to win at all. It's not easy to recruit players to come up there. You know, the Bills talk about that all the time, how it's tough to get players in free agency to come play there. You got the weather, you got all those things, but he's done a really good job of accumulating talent, developing a team, installing an offense, being effective, having patience, developing through over the course of a couple years, and now they got an excellent team.
Now they've got it going clearly in year number 4. And you and I were talking during the last break as a timeout's taken here by Central Michigan. So in 2015, our first year together, in 2016, we saw a lot of Western Michigan.
Correct.
And that second year of doing games was the magical year that Fleck and the
13-0.
The folks that rode the boat with him and the talent they had. And this team reminds me of that team in a way. It really does.
I agree with you.
And you mentioned Corey Davis, Gene Skidmore, our great spotter and stat man that's with
Michigan
us here.
man himself
when
there.
we can have him, yep. So he looked up the other key receivers along with Corey Davis were Michael Henry and Carrington Thompson.
Yeah, and what really the similarities are, you had a bunch of good backs.
Yeah.
Right? You had Jarvion Franklin.
Stable.
You had a stable backs, 3 backs, a dynamic receiver in Corey Davis, so you have that with Anthony Johnson. Complementary receivers. I think Osborne's a better complementary receiver than what Western Michigan had, and a quarterback who is smart and didn't make poor decisions, didn't turn the ball over.
Zach Terrell was the guy for Western Michigan those couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. So there are a lot of similarities.
There really are. A little more than 3 to play in this one on 3rd down. It's Emmanuel Reed. He gets the carry, the freshman timeout taking Central Michigan. Emmanuel Reed, as you said earlier, was the guy, the redshirt junior. He led them last year with 840 yards and 9 touchdowns. But these two freshmen have burst on, and my goodness.
They just have a ceiling that's much higher.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's not a slight on Emmanuel Reed.
No.
That's just talking about how great I think Kevin Marks and Jared Patterson can be. They both look really, really good. And when you can throw the ball and then you can run it, and you have a balanced offense, and you have a quarterback who can run the zone read and pull it and run it himself, like we saw Jackson on the touchdown run, and as he runs it, gets outside, looks downfield, can throw it. Got big things for this team. I see big things in their future this year.
No question about it. There's Finnegan on. We were told by John Fuller, their sports information director, before the game, he knew it was north of 100. He thought it was around 130 family and friends that this young man who's punting the ball away, who's from Sterling Heights, Michigan, had at the game today. Fair catch called for by Jamil Sabah, and with 3:08 to go, Central Michigan gets the rock back.
It's so cool when you get to play back home and you got family that come out, and you know, everybody gets to celebrate, and it's a cool day for all those guys from Buffalo, from Michigan, that get to come back home and play in front of a lot of family.
That's the number, the statistic I mentioned earlier, but there it is on your television screen to see for Buffalo. First time since November of 14 they've had 200-yard rushers. And they're doing it today as Tony Poljan now, 6'7" in the game. They're quarterback at the start of the year. They fought the heir apparent to Cooper Rush.
Yeah, you had real good quarterbacks. You had Cooper Rush, and then you had Morris, who transferred over from Michigan, and you had a lot of success throwing the ball. It's a rebuilding year for John Bonamigo and his staff. They understand that. They got a lot of young players themselves on offense and defense.
Yeah. Poljan attended the same high school as Cooper Rush. Lansing Catholic Central, about an hour south of here in the great state of Michigan. 3rd and 4 coming up. Poljan had a touchdown catch last week at Michigan State. That had to have been a big moment for him back in his hometown.
I was just going to bring that up because you got to give him a lot of credit. He was the starter for 3 games. They pull him. They go to Tommy Lazzaro, and he didn't sulk and put his head down. He just said, hey, what can I do? I'll play tight end. I've never done it before, but show me what to do, and I'll go out there, and he catches a touchdown, and you saw him a couple times. I wish they would have taken a couple shots downfield to him.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. That size he's got, 6'7". Here he throws. Catch made inside of the 40. Nice work going up to grab that. This is Devin Spalding, the senior, who continues to contribute for Central Michigan. Chippewas trying to get this down. They'd like to get it down to a 10-point game here with 2:20 to go. Poljan. Sidearms one, incomplete. For Gawilli. Incomplete. First time we've called his name today.
He had Sullivan down the field. He broke his route and came back, and he was open. Poljan didn't go to him. You know, the thing that's really held this offense back for Central Michigan is lack of explosive plays. Coming into the game, their longest run was 17 yards. Their longest reception, 37 yards. That's just not going to do it.
Slant over the middle, off the hands of the intended target, Devin Spalding. Tyree Jackson. Good homecoming for him and the Michigan guys. They're going to get a win back in their home state. Jackson a couple hours away from here, and over near Muskegon. Beautiful spot on the west side of the state of Michigan, right on Lake Michigan. Attended Mona Shores High School. Poljan takes a shot. Good catch by Sullivan there. Ja'Cory Sullivan went up with a couple of bulls around him and made the grab.
Yeah, good ball by Poljan. A better catch by Sullivan.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about earlier. A high point in the ball. Don't wait for it to come down. Go up, catch it at its highest point before the defender can come over and knock it away. An excellent job.
24-yard pickup. Here's Poljan now. Swings it out far side. Good tackle in the open field. That was Julian Hicks. Made the catch.
His first catch of the game.
Yeah, that's
for a guy
surprising.
who's the most explosive player. You got to do a better job finding him and finding ways to get him the ball.
Poljan got time. Tries that far side again, and one of our audio folks down there.
Oh, the thumbs up. I like it.
Yeah, that's toughness.
That's right.
Gawilli is a big young lad. He goes about 250, and that young lady down there with a microphone there, our field effects. I have to buy her a cup of coffee after the game.
She hopped right up, gave us the thumbs up, picked her stuff up, said, let's roll.
She's good. 3rd down and 5. Poljan floats one into the corner, incomplete. And the clock stopped. He was looking there for Hicks again with a minute 22 to play in the ball game.
You can see they're totally different contrasting styles there between Poljan and Lazzaro.
Yeah.
Poljan much more of a pocket quarterback, 6'7", throws the ball. Lazzaro much more of a running quarterback. That's why they made the move. Lazzaro gives him a little bit more mobility, allows him to run the ball.
Go for it on 4th and 5, down by 17. Poljan fires it in there, caught, touchdown. Julian Hicks with a minute 19 to go, and the Chippewas get 6.
That's what I thought we'd see more in this game, going at Julian Hicks, finding ways, whether it's slants, double moves, some bubble screens, something to get your best playmaker the ball. This is just a simple slant. He gets open, and Poljan delivers the ball, and they got a touchdown.
Well done. The Chippewas, 10 plays, 55 yards, took a minute 49. 3rd touchdown catch of the season for Julian Hicks. The redshirt freshman as Tice comes on and tacks on the point after. It's a 10-point game.
He had 7 receptions and a touchdown against Northern Illinois.
He did.
Had another touchdown against Michigan State.
Yep.
That's why when you go back, you watch the film, you say, okay, and you talk to the coaches. You know, Chris Ostrowski, he said, that's our most dynamic playmaker. That's the guy who we think can be a difference maker.
Yep.
Well, you waited till 2 minutes left in the 4th quarter to find a way to get him the ball. He had one jet sweep early in the game, early in the first quarter, but other than that, it's been a quiet day.
Yeah, it has. So John Bonamigo, as you know, you worked with him in Miami. He was a special teams coach down there. Does he give it a shot here and go
Absolutely.
onside?
Why would you not? You're kicking onside here.
So he's got both kickers out there. You were watching this yesterday at their workout. What are we going to see here?
Well, you got one kick that they can do is you want 2 hops. If you hit the one high hop, you can call a fair catch. You're trying to get 2 hops, and then the big high bounce, and another one on the ground. When it's wet, sometimes the one on the ground where it skips, it can skip off somebody. Now, I saw a penalty last week. You can't go past the 5 yards there. They got 2 kickers, so they're inside 5 yards, so they're okay.
Right. Caden Keon's going to kick it, or is he? Tice will kick it. And timeout Buffalo.
It's a good timeout. You know, it's a Kodak. You get a look at what they're doing. You even got to see, you did it late enough that you got to see the actual kick, which is a good job as well by Lance Leipold. I like that play. No reason not to call a timeout, see what they're doing, see what they're kicking now. You go over and you talk to John Bonamigo, do we switch it up? Tice was trying to do the 2 bounce and get a big hop on the second bounce. It's tough to get a big hop when it's wet because the ball doesn't jump, it skips. So that's why I think the kick on the ground, where you kind of get it to skip and then try and skip it off somebody's chest, a knee, something like that, get a play on it.
Good stuff. We were at the walkthrough yesterday morning. A couple of the folks on our crew came in and said, "Where's Feely?" I said, "Where do you think he's at? He's down with the kickers."
I was talking to a couple of guys, too.
I know you were. But that's where I go when I can't find you at practice.
I touched it early.
He did, yeah. Yep. Touched it at, what, the 44, right?
Yeah,
like.
about a yard too early.
Yep. There's our referee today. Amanda Sauer-Cook makes her way in. Ja'Cory Sullivan had the ball, but as Jay said, it didn't look like it went 10 yards. They're discussing. There was not a flag thrown on the play.
Ruling on the field is illegal touching at the 44-yard line. First down, Central.
First down, Buffalo.
Buffalo, yeah.
She misspoke.
Correct.
Yeah, that's right.
Buffalo
She
has
got
the
it.
ball.
Yep. Here you go, Jay.
Well, here's the ball. It takes a hop right, and so because of that, it's short, and Sullivan grabs it. He ends up getting on the ball, but
he touched it before
touched
the
it
45.
before, yep.
Yeah. It's a good look. So Buffalo's got it. Central Michigan out of timeout, so Buffalo just come in and take this time off the clock.
Excellent win for Lance Leipold and his staff.
Huge.
They don't have their best playmaker in Anthony Johnson. They find a great running game with 2 freshmen. They get a win in the MAC, and now they can get ready for Akron and then Toledo. And
yeah. So Leipold and company will go to 5-1, 2-0 in the MAC. They've won their 3rd straight road game in a season for the first time since 2008. They had, in 2 previous trips here in Mount Pleasant, 0 for 2, so their 3rd trip here, and just the 9th all-time meeting. They're going to get their first win here. Last time they played here in 2015, the 2 head coaches were in their first year in Central Michigan behind the aforementioned Cooper Rush. All he did was throw for 4 and ran for 1. And CMU that day won 51-14.
well, we talked about all the big playmakers for Buffalo from Michigan. They beat Eastern Michigan earlier in the year. Now they come in and beat Central Michigan. So
they're just hating on Michigan.
They won the state of Michigan. That's right.
Yeah, they don't have Western Michigan on the schedule this season. So 3-0 on the road. John Bonamigo and Lance Leipold, 2 fourth-year head coaches of their respective programs, meeting out in the middle of the field. Kevin Marks with a monster day. And Tyree Jackson, the Michigan man, comes back home. And they get a big win. 34-24. Buffalo is 5-1 and 2-0 in the MAC.
Tyree Jackson didn't have to do a lot today. The running game did the job for them. You want your best players out there, but I actually think not having Anthony Johnson,
benefits him.
having to go to the run game,
Yeah.
getting your freshman running backs going long term, it was the best thing for this team.
No question. No question. I agree with you 100%. There's that big kid. He calls himself that. He's always smiling. And Kevin Marks was big in a couple of ways in terms of what he did today, flexing his muscle for the Bulls of Buffalo, improving to 5-1 on the season, 2-0 in the MAC with a 10-point win here in Mount Pleasant. We'll be back with more after this. Ten-point win for Buffalo. They're 5-1 overall, 2-0 in the MAC with a big one coming up next week at home against Akron. But they're going to enjoy this one as they crashed the party, Jay Feely, on homecoming. They beat Central Michigan by 10, and Lance Leipold's been kind enough to join us down in the field. Coach, great win for your team. So many things to talk about and discuss, but number one, what's it mean for your team to get this one today?
Well, it was big. You know, anytime you get road wins, it's important. Conference wins, I was just told by our SID, it's our first time we've ever won here as a program, so it's a big day for us.
Coach, you want your best players out there. Obviously, you didn't have Anthony Johnson, but I feel like long term, to get these two freshman running backs going and to develop this running game that now complements you so well, it's a benefit to you long term.
Absolutely. If you can survive those type of days with a playmaker like Anthony Johnson on the sideline and you can keep developing these young players, you're right, especially in the run game, to give us some balance. It wasn't our best day in the air, but to have these young players step up and our offensive line to do the job that they did, it was huge.
So let's talk about those young guys. Kevin Marks and Jarrett Patterson. Your offensive coordinator, Andy Kotelnicki, told us on the call, he said, you're going to see a lot of those two. I mean, were we planning on that much, Coach?
Well, I don't know about that. Once it went that way, it was great to see them. But to make them, for freshmen to make the plays that they have, this early in the season, breaking tackles, making people miss is something we haven't really had a lot of since we've been here. And to see it happen for these two young players is really special.
Coach, lastly, let's give some love to that defense. 4 interceptions today. They did an excellent job getting the ball back for your offense. There was times when the game got close, and every time they answered with an interception.
Yeah, it did get close, and that's a credit to Central Michigan, John Bonamigo and his staff, because that team is really close, and the rest of our conference is going to find out, like we did today, is that they're going to battle people. But to see some of our younger players in the secondary and newcomers step up, and Apri Washington and Brandon Williams, Cam Lewis, Joey Banks, to have guys make those plays has been huge.
Yeah, no question about it. You got a lot of guys that are from this state. I know that's probably important to them, but what's that mean does it mean anything to you?
Well, I'm happy for them, because some of those players you're alluding to have had a tough road while we've been here trying to build this program. And for them to come back to Michigan and get a win is special for them. Obviously, we hope it can help us in the recruiting, battles as we go through things. But, and again, it gives us a great chance as we go back home to play a good Akron team next week.
Yes, sir. Thanks for this, Lance. Looking forward to it. I'll be there to call it, and we're excited to come in and do the game next Saturday at noon. Congrats, and enjoy the ride, the bus ride, and then the flight back home.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you being here doing our game. Thank you.
It's our pleasure. Lance Leipold, head coach, and there's Tyree Jackson posing for some pictures. Why not? He's got a lot of family and friends here, Jay.
Yeah, all those Michigan players, they're happy to come back. They beat Eastern. They beat Central. They got a lot, anytime you do that, your friends, the guys you went to high school with, there's a lot of pride, and there's a lot of pride in these two freshman running backs.
No question. Kevin Marks, 167 today on 18 totes of the rock, 121 for Jarrett Patterson. First time with two freshman running backs over 100 yards in 16 years.
88 yards rushing between the two of them. I mean, that was spectacular. We're going to bring in one of those freshman running backs. Come on in.
Yeah, we are. Kevin Marks. Kevin, thanks for joining us. And how's this one feel, young man?
It's feel good. With the team preparing for this MAC game was big, and how we came out and showed through adversity. The ball placement that we had throughout drives and came through was big, definitely.
Kevin, you had the big 70-yard run. You burst up. Give a lot of love to your offensive line because they did an excellent job. And then Nunn, the receiver, getting the block downfield, that's what springs big runs.
Definitely. Good. Congrats to the O-line from preparing from day one through practice and stuff like that. But it all came with the team just bonding together throughout the week from the loss. That was big, from being undefeated and thought we was going to go undefeated throughout the whole season. and taking that loss was big. To come back to get this W was big.
Indeed it was. You and Jarrett Patterson, I mean, we saw you guys, high-fiving, your course great teammates to one another, but did you honestly expect to get it this much today? The football, that is.
We did. We did expect to get it like this with the one-man box, with them spreading the linebackers out. We were just showing them we can run the ball too, so that hurt them bad.
Well, it's a big advantage to be able to have a partner in Jarrett Patterson. He can step in, and then you're fresh. You can come in and bust off runs like that 70-yarder. You showed off your explosiveness as well as your strength, and you both ran the ball great all day.
Yeah, definitely. It's like a 1-2 punch, Bo and Starks.
That's right.
See you next week at your place for the Akron game. We'll be there to call it. Thanks for this, Kevin.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Kevin Marks joining us, and Lance Leipold as well. We're going to step aside, take a timeout. We'll have a preview of Air Force and Navy. That's coming up next as Buffalo gets a 10-point win here in Mount Pleasant.